From the heart of the workshop to the depths of the mind, built a world with my hands, one step at a time. A carpenter, a mechanic with tools in my grip, journeyman and craftsman, I never let it slip. There's the name, welcome to the show, where the trade winds blow and the skills all flow. From carpentry to mechanics, I've walked every line. Now I'm here on YouTube and it's airtime. I've turned wrenches, hammered nails, built roofs up high, worked with metal and wood under every sky. Taught the warriors, shared the game, and now I bring all that knowledge to the stream, hear the hammering. Says the name, welcome to the show, where the trade winds blow and the skills all flow. From carpentry to mechanics, I've walked every line. Now I'm here on YouTube and it's airtime. I've turned wrenches, hammered nails, built roofs up high, worked with metal and wood under every sky. Taught the warriors, shared the game, and now I bring all that knowledge to the stream, hear the hammering. Wrenches, hammered nails, built roofs up high, work with metal and wood under every sky. Taught the warriors, shared the game, and now I bring all the knowledge to the stream, hear the hammering. Diesel in my veins and blueprints in my head, built the world around you from the floor to your bed. Taught the lessons, share the grind, every tool is mine. Join me on this journey where the skills combine. There's the name, welcome to the show, where the trade winds blow and the skills all flow. From carpentry to mechanics, I've walked every line. Now I'm here on YouTube and it's airtime. Diesel in my veins and blueprints in my head, built the world around you.
T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
And good evening, people. And how's everyone doing this evening? You're lucky. I'm feeling ambitious and I feel like doing a live today. So who all's here? Who all's watching? Anyone here? Say hello. Nice to meet you. I'm Sayer. This is my channel. This is my work. This is me. There you go. Stream's over. See you guys later. Bye. Just joking. I'm still here. Hey, Sharush. Hey, Shannon. How you guys doing? Oh, so hopefully you guys are having a good weekend. Hopefully life is treating you good. Oh, only got 7 more panels to make. 7 more. Built all those already today. Got all those built. And that, so taking away, plugging away. Burning up screws. Box of 2,000. Almost empty. Oh, look, we got a special guest today. I thought I'd invite an old friend on because I haven't seen him for a while and haven't talked to him for a while. So here's an ugly mug for you. Souls.
Hey, hi, guys. Just give me 1 second. I got to turn my sound on. For some reason, every time I do this, it's a pain in the butt.
Yeah, for me, just figuring out, I just found out now, just to use your own videos, you got to pay StreamYard. You can't just use your videos like you used to. Again, Hokey Pinocchio.
Oh. Yeah, I haven't used StreamYard in a minute.
Well, I'm going to be looking for something new because they want $17 a week.
A week?
Jeez. And they took off, like, you used to be able to make your own video, your own intro video and outro videos, but now you have to pay to use those if you want to use them. So I'm gonna try to see if I can remember how OBS works and go that route, because that was free.
Oh, dang. Yeah, I think Tactics uses OBS Studio when he does his gaming
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not into gaming
Uh-oh.
anymore, so
OBS is great. It's just doing this kind of thing, having people on as guests. It's an absolute bear because you got to use a third party software, and but never know. Maybe someone's invented something better.
I have no idea. I just use YouTube.
Yeah, I forgot YouTube does have a
Shabushi.
streaming service, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah. If you go vertical, you can invite one other person on with you at a time. So maybe not good for 6 or 7 people, but it's good for one. And I didn't expect an invite today. I was actually in bed because I'm old, and I went outside. The air quality is so bad I can't breathe out there. So I was just in bed, like trying to get over my old self. What's up, Sharush?
Yeah.
Shannon. I'm trying to read the people.
I had some Chinese food. Took a 45 minute nap. Woke up and I'm gonna try to finish off the last 7 panels of this fence. Last bundle,
Yep.
ready to go out for Monday, and done. Payday.
Well, I don't know why your cat was laying down for 45 minutes.
Well, they get lazy, and when they get old, it's just all they they get sore really fast. Mostly after polishing off a box of 2,000 screws.
3 inchers too.
3-inch. Oh
I
god!
saw that. Yeah.
I actually got calluses forming on my hands again from holding that stupid impact all day.
Should use a drill.
I would, but the only drill that's efficient enough that I have is a brick. It's that Metabo. It's a little heavy on the wrist.
It is. Yeah,
I'd
the
use the
Metabo's a
little
little front heavy.
I'd use the little compact Metabo, but I'd probably burn the motor out halfway through.
Oh, I don't know. That's all we used to use,
Yep. A lot of these kids don't even realize that we used to drill the pie the hole, take a socket and a ratchet and drive that lag bolt home that way.
No, that's the thing. Like here, this is the last drill that I used out in the field. And look at the cord.
Yeah.
But look, you could tell like this got put through it because if you look into the vents down there, it's all caked. That is all the grease and stuff. And I used to take that thing apart religiously to re-grease it on the inside. I've changed the brushes on it. I can't tell you how many times. It's 15 pounds. That's what we used to carry out there. And I get these guys that are like, oh, that 5-pound drill's too heavy. Like, just go sit down, lady.
Do you know what the nice thing is about the old corded tools? We were able to put a little loop in the cord and just hang it on our pouch and carry it.
I used to throw this one over my shoulder.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. I carried it everywhere, just right over my shoulder. It was fantastic. Like, I never met a job that thing couldn't do.
Yeah.
But I met plenty of jobs I didn't want to use it for.
Yeah. And those things didn't have clutches either.
No, this is the very definition of all gas, no brakes.
Yeah. 2 speeds, not working and go.
Yeah.
No. Oh god. Oh, I'm supposed to be retired, but when they called me to do this job and I threw them a number, and I threw them an outrageous number too. And like, yep, yeah. It's like, oh, fuck.
What's the project?
It's 2,000 lineal feet of baluster style fencing.
Oh, okay.
Up there, and just got to build it all, take it over, install it, drop it in. And I'm going to probably have all this finished off on Wednesday at the latest. So that will be that. So 3.5 weeks, and I'm going to make 32 grand. So I'm not going to complain. That's a lot of bingo money.
There's a lot of bingo money. It's a lot of bear money.
Yeah, good thing we don't have a Harbor Freight up here. We got a Princess Auto, and well, the only time we go down there is if we're actually going to invent something crazy, because that's what Princess Auto is good for, spare parts.
What's up, Denny?
No,
Who is this fake Denny? I don't see any fake Denny. I only see you, Denny. It's weird. So I've got my really nice camera because it's on StreamYard, so I get to use it as opposed to my cell phone. And I've got the StreamYard behind it, but the way I have to put the camera is right in front of the comments, so I can't see the comments except for maybe one little line until they get at the top.
Yeah.
So when you're doing the balusters, are you using a spacing block?
Actually, I set up a jig. I got a jig table. All this do is just the spindles drop.
Oh, that's great.
And so it's set to my base width. So that way my standard panel width. But then when I have ones that are a little shorter, a little narrow, I just find the center and figure out, just look at my stud spacing, put a mark on it, and then I can just set it in there, drop them in, and it's just 4 screws holding them in, so I can adjust them to any length that I want. So my 2 lengths that I have, I just adjust them in and out. Pre-cut. That pile, like my stream this morning when I was filming it, was like this was from the ground up to here, up to like almost to the roof of the tent of different spindles. Like friggin', like that's what I got left out of the two lifts of 2x2s that they sent me yesterday.
So we're gonna ask the chat here real quick. Do you guys know how we used to do this in the field, especially when we were making these baluster fences in the field? Because you have to have them a uniform distance apart. And we used to have a trick that we would use to make the first one, and then we'd use the first one as our template. So do you guys know what the trick is, and do you know what we used to use? I'll let you guys answer, because it's actually something you'd most associate with women. All right, well, nobody's answering, so I know it's like 30-second delay. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. What we used to use to lay out the first one, especially when we do any kind of anything where we were using a distance and we had to have everything laid out at a certain pacing, and it wasn't our 16 on centers or 24s, we used elastic.
Yep.
And you could mark on a piece of elastic however many you need between that and the end, and when you stretch it out, it's all the same uniform length everywhere. So it was something that I don't think I've seen anybody do that on YouTube before.
I haven't seen anyone do that either.
Yeah, YouTube. That's something that you got to be real old school to even think about. Because I know I used to carry it in my belt, just a piece of elastic. I had a 2 and a 4 foot piece of elastic, depending on how far I needed, because you can stretch a 4 foot piece of elastic out to about 20 feet.
Yep.
So that's what we used to use. It's probably not in practice anymore, but if you ever need to lay out a pattern and they have to be however many inches apart, because like when you're doing a deck fence and the baluster rails that you're laying in there, they have to be uniform. It's actually part of the code. So, and it's typically 4 inches. But you could mark that on a piece of elastic, stretch it out, and boom, you're done.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah.
Use Makita all day, Soul. And I will not, Juan. Not for your pleasure or anyone's. So what else you got going on there?
Well, pretty much it. Just working, hanging out. Thought I'd come on because I saw no one was live, so I thought I'd fill people's lives with joy. Show my ugly mug.
Oh,
So
and you're like, what's worse than one ugly person? We'll get two.
yeah.
I expect. I respect that.
Well, welcome to the seniors channel. Today we're talking about how you hold your dentures in and what's the best paste. I prefer Depends over the no name stuff. The generic stuff kind of chafes a little bit, but
Yeah. Well, the Depends hold a little bit more weight too. And they provide you with that extra ball support so you're not sitting on them all the time.
there have been road trips in the last couple of years where I wished I did.
Oh, I bet.
God.
Oh, I saw a thing today. It was weird. It lets you pee in a bottle. It's like a thing that you can put on your pants.
Yeah.
And it like gets you to the bottle.
Yeah, little catheter set up, strap it on your pecker. God. That sounds like a invention.
Well, as men, we don't drive. We drive to see how fast we can get there with as few stops as it takes.
Yeah. Yeah, but when you got to take a crap and it's starting to turtle, that's no man's zone. That's like, oh, should I go? I can make it. Oh, I can make it.
Well, it's time to pull over when you start getting the shit sweats.
I'm telling you, this friggin' little Metabo,
yeah,
thin saw, night and day to the Milwaukee on like it doesn't walk all over the place.
Yeah,
vibrations like next to nothing. Like I've been using the Gen 2 for a while, and the 12 one, it's the same thin saw pretty much as the M18, except for the M18. It actually has less balls than this one does for some strange reason. But this thing is garbage, but night and day. Like
I can't stand the Milwaukee. I can't stand the Milwaukee ones. I hate them.
Like right now
too much.
Right now, it's a great time for anyone to go pick up Bosch and Metabo stuff because it's all on clearance on sale because they're getting ready for their next year stuff. And and these little batteries, their original batteries, they're down to $20 a piece now.
Jeez.
$20 a piece. So no brainer.
Well, when I talk about Metabo, it's always absolutely positive because I've not had a tool from them that I actually didn't like. Like they are a pleasure to use.
Well, they may not be the fastest or the most powerful, but you can. They feel good in the hand. Some of quite a few of their tools are quite robust in build quality, like for what they are. Like I just can't argue. And that warranty, that new warranty that they have, like 90% of the time they'll just give you a new one. They'll tell the store, right, just give them a new one, send it back to us. We're good.
Yeah, I dig it. I love Metabo. Their angle grinder is freaking amazing.
They're not two is pretty dang snookum.
Yeah, I do like them. It's just everything that I've tried from them, except for I think the subcompact one-hand saber saw was about the only thing I looked at, and I was like, it's probably not the best, but I would still take it over the M12.
Last night I was thinking about replacing my super sawzall. I got the Gen 1 super sawzall from the thing's an absolute monster. But it's like, you know what? I'm just getting tired of the vibration on this thing. So I was looking at the Hitachis, and they got that new little compact one. It's about big, It's got the UVP and all that stuff. And I was watching a couple videos on it. That thing's probably just as fast as the Milwaukee that I have, and it's a little bit more compact. So that's the thing, having a nice small light sawzall, because I don't have a small light sawzall anymore. So it's like maybe I'll get that one instead of their big monster. I'll get that one first, play with it, and then if I need another big monster, I'll buy the big monster. But
Dude,
and another little trick when doing demolition, mostly when you got to cut a building in half, those demolition blades, don't use them. Use a steel blade. Just throw a steel blade on that thing. You're going to cut through everything faster than you do with the demolition blade. It's going to bind up on you less, get caught up less, and whenever you hit the wire or the pipe in the wall, it's not stopping.
I think a lot of the problems that people have is they get like those 9-inch blades on there.
Yeah.
And they're using a 9-inch blade when they should be using maybe a 6. So their blades get bent to hell because they're not doing the right thing. And then everybody I watch, especially on YouTube, which is just a terrible place to watch craftsmen work. Just in case you guys didn't know, most of the people that are doing the videos on YouTube, they have the time to do it because no one's paying them to do it anywhere else. Just my thoughts on that. But you see them forcing, like they're pushing for all they're worth to try to get that thing to go. And I'm just sitting there like, you're going to be tired at the end of the day. You know, I'm like, what are you doing?
No, like that. Last weekend, there's a diner, and they built it attached to a door cabinet shop. They wanted to keep the door cabinet shop, but tear the building down. And the excavator, how they had it all nailed together, they could just take the excavator, pull it off without destroying the other building. So they called me up. I grabbed a couple of young kids, went over there, and said, "Okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna turn the gas off, the water off, the power off. We're gonna take these sawzalls. We're gonna cut a 1 foot wide strip right along, and we're going to keep it about 6 inches off the wall. Just cut a strip right out of this building. They're all like looking at me. In and out in 2 hours. Had the whole entire thing just cut all the way around, like inside walls, roof, floor, 1 foot wide strip out. The excavator came along, grabbed it, pulled the whole thing to the side. Down it went. We pulled off all the rest off the wall. And maybe this weekend, this coming weekend, go back there, put some new hardy board or something on it, make it look pretty, and done deal. Work smarter, not harder. Don't have to sit there trying to pull the roof shingles off and pull this off and strip that off.
No. Well, a lot of what I see going on today, it's just we used to call it busy work.
Yeah,
we would give people that we didn't really need on the job site.
Yeah.
We would give them that stuff to do. And then we'd be like, "Oh yeah, you did a great job." And we wouldn't even look at it.
Yeah.
We'd just go over there. We'd just do what we were going to do, whether that stuff was there or not. Mm-hmm. But we acted like we needed them to do it to kind of give them some type of experience and some type of value for being there. That, you know, it'd be easy to just tell them to go home, that we didn't need them right then. But what good's it going to do to them? Because then when we get into a job where we do need them to do something, and we need them to pick up tools, or we needed them to do something, well, they've already gone, right? They're what, the half dayer, right? The part timer.
Yep.
They just get into that mode. But if you figure out something for them to do, then you got them there for the day. Because I don't know, like, I'm sure you can relate to this. Every job site you've been on, nothing went 100% according to plan. You always had to take into account something at the end, or something somewhere along the line that you needed to kind of shift, take care of, and then move on.
You never know when you're gonna have a blowout on a pour, man. You got 8 cubic yards of concrete running down the stairs, and say, what the fuck? But that's the thing, is if you don't keep them busy and you only keep them half day, then eventually they're just going to go and find another job where they're full time. But like even when I had guys that got hurt on the job after they got all patched up with that, I keep them busy in the office or just running around doing anything, because if they did get back into good enough shape where they could pick up pace again, they're still there. I still have them. They're good workers. I don't want to lose them. So hey, you're going to be in the office for a while. You're going to do tool inventory, fixing tools, cleaning tools, maybe some glue work, run plans across the site for me and stuff like that. And like, just gotta keep them. But none of that. You don't want to just turn around. Oh, you hurt yourself. I'm sorry, I can't use you. It kind of makes you feel like a shit boss, you know.
Yeah.
Like you hurt yourself. You need money. You have no income coming in right now, and you're not going to be able to heal good enough. So until you find another career, I'm going to try to figure something out for you.
No, it's true. It's one of the secrets to having good, happy employees is that they feel like they're learning something.
Yeah.
Especially when they're new. I used to stick. I was sad to say this, but the old hands that I had on a crew, they knew every time a new guy showed up, they were getting the shit show.
Yeah.
Because I would stick them with that guy. I'd stick the new guy with one of the old hands, and I would be like, run them through.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, you get rid of some of the people that just thought it would be easy, because those old guys ain't slowing down, and if you're in the way, they're going to yell at you.
Yeah.
So you lose some people from that, but most of the guys, if they stay there and they go through it, man, they can go anywhere, any job site, and work well.
Yep.
I don't understand this new generation. I'm saying, because they want you to talk real nice to them. Like, I don't think my dad said a nice word to me until I was in my 30s.
Yeah. When I was younger, my dad had me so paranoid when he came out to the yard that sometimes accidents would happen because he would find something to get mad at me for. So he'd be coming out in the yard and he'd be doing his normal walk. I'm like, oh shit, what did I fucking do wrong? What did next you know, bin falls off the forklift. Forklift goes through the bottom of the bin. I'm like, oh shit. then my dad just looks at me, turns around, walks away. It's like you're doing this on purpose, aren't you, fucker?
Yeah.
But
see, I never got to work with my dad, fortunately.
My dad was a hoot. Like, oh, there's nothing to do. There's a gravel yard. Get the rake it. It's like, you're not going home till 6, so grab the rake.
Oh.
You say, oh fuck, man. I just finished school. I got here, and I want. Like, come on.
I remember one guy we had. He showed up on a job site. He was telling everybody how much he knew. Well, he didn't know anything. You know how you get them in all the time. Oh, I've got 10 years of experience or whatever. You put them out there, and they don't even know what one end of a hammer to hold.
Yeah.
So we had one guy show up. He was all talking big about how much he knew and whatnot. He was one of those. He didn't know anything. I made him go sweep the parking lot.
Yeah. No.
You can do that when you're the owner. You can make people do stuff they don't like.
Yeah. That's the nice thing about being boss. And that's the key to getting into the trades, the hopes of becoming the boss. Or ending up like someone like me or other people like me, independent, that goes out there and you build a reputation and name. Like that's the thing. Like the new generation, they're scared of the trades. They don't want to get into it. It's hard work. It's going to hurt me. It's going to break me. If you follow the rules, you're smart, you're safe, and you do and you use the tools properly, you do the job properly, it's gonna make you strong. And like if you're not like me and Souls here and do stupid things when you're working, like showboating, 21 studs on my shoulder, 100 yards, no problem. Don't be doing crap like that. Don't do the stupid stuff. But you'll last till you're about 50, 60 years old, and you'll still have somewhat of a body left to be able to enjoy it. But that's the thing, like this younger generations are scared of working 4 hours a day. They don't understand that. Unfortunately, we live in a world where we have to wake up in the morning. We got to go to work. The more you work, the more money you make. The harder you work, the more you get noticed, and the faster you climb up the tree, and the more attention your employer gives you. If you bust your balls, your employer pays attention to you, and he's like, "Hey, look at this guy. He's going gun ho. He's here at 6 o'clock every morning. He's got the coffee already brewing, waiting for my lazy ass to get here." Like that's the thing. The next you know, you got someone like me going, "Well, I'm done. Here's some friggin' tools. There's that. For the next 2 years, you're gonna give me 5% of the projects till the tools are paid off, and it's friggin' yours." Like and stuff like that. Or you build your own company. You learn, you get professional, you get a reputation, and that like the trades is a great place for a young person to be in. You don't need massive education. You don't need huge amounts of college and stuff like that. You like, and people go doing resumes. When you're looking for a construction job, there's no goddamn such thing as a resume. You show up with a tool pouch, a hammer, a tape measure, a square, and a pencil, and you show up and say, "I want to work," and you say, I'll work the first 2 days. If you're happy with me, take me on full time. Then we'll talk about wage. That's how you do it. That's just how you do it. It's like that's one thing that's never changed in the industry. You just show up at the job site, say, "Hey, look," and if it's a big corporate job, they'll turn around and say, "Okay, well, give me a second. I'm gonna make a phone call, gonna get some information off you, and call it into the office." But the trades is a good place, and the construction industry is literally the best place. Automotive industry is kind of suck balls right now. It's expensive, it's hard, it's ridiculous, but it's still a good industry. Like it's good honest work. You feel accomplishment at the end of the day. But that's the thing. The younger generation, they just seem broken down. Like for some reason their spirit's just been broken.
I don't know what it is. I can say how I got started. I didn't have any tools. My dad knew a guy that did roofing. By the way, worst job ever, other than drywall, roofing. It's the worst thing you can do because there's no enjoyment in there. But my dad knew a guy that did roofing. He got me a job when I was 14 years old doing that. I showed up in tennis shoes, no boots. I didn't even have boots. I wore I did have denim jeans on, which was good. And they made me push a broom for like the first 2 weeks. And that's all I did. And I show up every day. They give me the business. I never said a word, unless it was to give it back, which I'm pretty good at.
That's the thing. When I made the jump over into construction in the 80s with my brother, we both had good common knowledge. My dad passed on a lot of skills, but the guys I was hiring veterans. And I told them, treat me like a friggin' idiot because you know more than me. I need to know what you need to know. And it's kind of funny watching the boss toting everything around, listening to the lead hand. It's like, who's the owner of the company? Oh, the one pushing a broom in the corner over there. It's like, what?
Hey.
But no, that's the thing. It's like I got the privilege to learn from some great guys. Like, so if you want to get into an industry before you have the poor knowledge, hire some goddamn smart people to teach you while you're working and building the company.
I'll say this: when you're in the trades, the people that you're working for are more than happy to teach you what you will need to go on and do it yourself. Even if you tell them, "Hey, I'm working here until I can get enough knowledge to go work for myself." They'll help you. They'll push you along. They want you to be successful because the more you're out there, and if you get to be really successful, you're going to pass business back their way. When you're starting out, they're going to be passing business your way because they're busy. It's a reciprocal relationship, and it's something that can go on And there is nothing better than watching the people that come up under you go out and do well. You want them to do well because that means you did something right.
And if you
can't get that in corporate America.
No. And if you if you build yourself a little bit tougher skin and can learn how to take a joke, you make some really good friends. You make friends for life in the trades. Like a lot of people in the trades, we joke around, we josh around, we name call, we do a little bit of teasing. We never get too carried away. We're never mean. You all usually not mean, but that's the thing is if you can build up a little bit of a thick skin and understand joke is a joke, and that you'll make friends for life. Like you don't really get that in the corporate world. Don't get that because they're looking for anything they can do to screw you over. We're in the trades. We're just making sure that we got good friends. That way, when I'm sliding off the roof, you're going to try to grab my rope or something instead of go, bye.
What's the worst harness accident you ever had?
Doing an elevator lift, and I had the short harness on 6 feet, and that left me buggered for a couple weeks. Like that, I got lucky because I didn't have to dangle because I was able to grab the floor below, pull myself in. But had I been stuck there hanging for more than half an hour, I probably would have screwed because over half an hour in the old harnesses, your blood circulation gets cut off, your legs start to go numb, and the strain on the body. But I'm just glad I had the 5 foot recoil on instead of the old repelling cord, because that would have been a snap. But I've had guys that had some pretty good falls on the rope and that ended their career. It was over. The whiplash screwed them up so bad, and they got stuck hanging there too long, and it's horrendous. Like that's why I keep preaching. Even though you have safety gear and you're playing the rules, you're not Superman. It doesn't give you a license to be an idiot, play around, joke around, like, oh look, I got a rope on me, I'm not gonna die. Oh, wait till you slip and you go falling down. That rope brings you to a sudden stop.
Yeah.
No.
I was up on, I wasn't very high. I was probably only like 40, 50 feet up. And it had just rained that morning. We were out there, and I was laying a girder, and my foot just slipped. And you're hanging off the side. If anybody's ever gone on girders, you've ever done any iron work, whatever, you're not standing on the girder. You're standing on the lip on the outside of the girder. Yeah. When you slip from there, there's no catching you. And the last thing you want to do is reach your hand out and grab that girder that's on a crane, because that's going to snap back and it's going to take your hand off. Don't want to see it happen to anybody. So the only thing you can do is just go with it. Yeah. That happened to me. I was black and blue from just above my thigh up into almost my armpit. Jeez. Like the whole way was black and blue. And the worst part is you only have so many minutes. You get like 15 minutes for someone to come lift you. Yeah. Because you need somebody to lift you up to get you onto that platform or onto an area where you can lay down and let that circulation go back through your body, because those harnesses don't stop. It's something. And now we didn't have we only had the canvas straps.
Yeah. Those are,
what I'm saying? The canvas straps, and then your line is just a carabiner line, yeah, with a piece of paracord or rope, typically paracord. And that paracord, it gives you that bunge. Well, what that does is it snaps you back down multiple times. So you go boom, 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 boom. So it's like you're getting that whole thing a few times before you can get back to some semblance where you're able to do anything. And then it's just hang on and try to lift yourself up to get that that weight off of your leg, because you can feel your leg go numb almost instantly.
Yeah, it's scary as crap. Like when I was doing those elevator lifts, because no one else wanted to do them, and I didn't blame them. You're working on the side of the building. You got to go 4 feet out, then the elevator lift gets lifted in, put in place, and you got to build a deck out to it. But you're hanging out there building that deck to that lift, and that's the thing is I'm just lucky that I had a short strand on me and didn't go far, and I was able to reach over and grab the lower lift and pull myself in. But like I was down for too long on that one. Like it was worse than a car accident.
Yeah, I don't envy it. I know a lot of guys that just those little falls. It's the little ones that really get you.
Yeah,
because because your whole, like when you fall, your whole body just naturally tenses. If you've got a little bit of time, you can relax a little bit. You never really relax, but you can relax a little bit and go into it. But it's those short ones that they jar your whole frame, and there's nothing you can do. There's no prep, no nothing. It's just ouch and dang, I hope this is over.
Yeah. No. And the other thing, when you're on jobs, pay attention to everyone's footwear, because every job they're gonna have a different type of footwear. Because just last week there's a kid doing sheet metal roofing, and the guys that are doing the metal roofing out here, they all wear Converse. When they're up on that roof, no steel toe boots, they got Converse. Why? Because the Converse have those that pattern on the bottom. They just grip roofs no matter what. And he was up there with a pair of hiking boots. He took a slip and he went down about 20 feet before he reached out and went to grab a lip of the sheet metal. Cut his off right across here, just clear right off, sheared them right off.
Metal does not forgive.
Like pay attention to how everyone is dressing on the job, and try to dress like them and ask them where they get their shoes. Communication, like your attire is a big thing. Like a lot of people, you'll see them cutting their sleeves off their shirt and that. Yeah, they don't really realize why OSHA and them want you to have a sleeve that comes down here, because this is heat stroke area, man. There's some blood vessels up in here that get too hot. If you ain't protected, it's going to shut you down. Like I've had a lot of guys go and cut their sleeves off. They come in and wear a white beater, and halfway through the day they're on the ground. Like and you back your neck. Always guard that back of the neck. But
well, we used to take those. They're called gaiters now. I don't remember what we called them back in the day, but we used to just take them into the ice bucket before we were going up. We put them around like the back of our neck and whatnot. Because if you guys have never done any high rise stuff, if you've never done any kind of real anything where you're working above ground, a lot of times if it's like 85, 90 degrees on the ground, you're talking about 115, 120, depending on how high you go up, because heat rises. It doesn't go down.
Metal on concrete radiate heat even more so than anything else. It just radiates. Yeah, no. My old trick has always just been the 2 old dish towels, one clipped to the back of the hard hat, one inside the hard hat.
Yeah.
Soak them every couple minutes, stick it in there, put it on. But that's the thing. That's the reason why in the summertime I push full brim, because the full brim got a little bit of extra on the back there to watch your back in the summer. And none of that allows airflow. That's like I see all these guys wearing ball caps in the summertime on hot job sites. There's no airflow going in there. Like that's how you end up like me. Wear a ball cap too much and you lose it all. your head looks like a baboon's ass. Right.
Oh, the ones that always got me were the guys that took their hard hat with the liner, and they would put it all the way down.
Yeah.
Right. Like they'd strap it and it would be all the way down. Well, you never do that. You always have some kind of cloth under there, because that cloth is going to save you, because all that sweat that you're pouring out through your head or whatever, Well, it's going to create like a cooling area in your hard hat. So the guys that are out there and you see them just hard hat all the way down, right? You know the ones. You just look at him and be like, yeah, give him till 2:00. He'll be suffering. He'll be the guy in the break room.
Having that airflow, so that way there's some airflow in there. Like, how many times have you had sweat rolling down your forehead? It gets into your eyes. Now you're like, oh shit, and you got crap all over your hands. Now you're getting crap in your hands trying to wipe that sweat out of your hands. Like it's it's not fun. Like I've had a couple trips just because of that myself. So,
oh, it's something. I love it. I wish I could still go out there and do it, but I can't.
Yeah. Oh. That's where I'm somewhat lucky. I close to the end of my career, I wised up a bit more, but it's so easy for me to get distracted nowadays. Like when I was building my panels a couple times there, I didn't line on my plates properly. Like, oh shit, no, okay, pull it apart, just move the plate. No, it's like it. I don't know how much longer it is till my brain's gonna be actually totally gone to where like even my notepad. Like this is why I love my Samsung phone. It's got that little notepad.
Yeah.
Because when I'm stopping something, I can pull that damn thing out, write down what I was doing. And so that way, if I fall asleep for that, I can go, okay, what was I doing? I could pull that damn thing out and go, oh, that's what I was doing. Okay. Like, that's my biggest issue is just like I'll just forget. Like just forget what I was doing or time. Like I can lose track of time so freaking fast. Oh, what? It's been a month already? Shit. Sorry.
The one of the things that they do when I go into the doctor is they want me to write. It's like they 11:15 or whatever.
Yeah.
On a clock, and it's got to be an old analog clock. And I'm like, I know what it looks like, but I can't write it down anymore.
Yeah.
So if it's not digital, I can't read it. I have the hardest time telling the difference between night and day now. Like I have to look outside to see if there's any light. I've had to turn my porch light off because if I see any light out there, I'm like, oh, it's still daytime.
Daytime.
I'm good.
Yeah. No, that's why I've got such a bad sleeping disorder. Like I literally I don't have a choice. I wake up when I wake up. I go to bed when I go to bed now, and that's just how it is. It's like keeping a schedule. I think that's the biggest thing that I have to explain to people that I still do work for. Like I'll show up when I show up. I'll get it done when I get it done. If you need it done tomorrow, you might want to go try this young guy over there. I got this young guy. Here's his number. But if you want it done right, done good, and you're not in a super rush, I'll do it for you. But it's gonna be on my terms for the time schedule because I'm sorry, my brain is broken.
I feel you. I've been trying to do I've got mower videos I'm supposed to do or whatever, and to me, I only got the mower like a week or two ago.
Yeah,
it may have been 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, yeah.
And you try to explain that to the person that sent you this $3,000 mower, because Mowrator, right? They sent me the $3,000 mower. I'm like, well, I just got it. Like, what are you worried about? And they'll be like, well, we sent it to you on such and such a date. And I was like, well, what day is it today? I don't freaking know.
Calendar, clock, what the fuck is that?
No, so I've got to get my wife to keep track of all that stuff for me, and she has to put it in her phone. And same thing is I'm just like sitting there, and I'm like, because if you leave it up to me, I just don't care.
Get yourself an Alexa.
Get
yourself an Alexa. I got one of the Alexas, so when I come inside, I can just tell Alexa to remind me. Alexa, 9:30 tomorrow. Alarm. and tell me to do this. Okay, setting alarm for 9:30 tomorrow. Next, alarm goes off. Get your ass out of the bed. You got to do it. That's the thing. It's like technology comes in handy now. And that's a good thing. We grew up in a generation where we got to learn, like, understand technology, unlike our parents. Our parents would be screwed with this crap right now. Like,
I do all right with the technology stuff. The thing is, like, I have to still see it to really understand it. And like, Cooch will call me and he'll be like, "Oh, I got to do what do I do here?" And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, go look, dude. Because if it's on YouTube, like if it's a YouTube studio or something, I can figure it out. But if it's just, hey, let's do this thing, I'll be like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Or I'll just be like, I don't care. Just walk away.
It's kind of funny. I want to learn something techie, and I'll start watching a YouTube video, but then there's that sidebar, and there's always something that catches your eye on that sidebar. You're trying to watch that video, trying to learn it, and you keep eyeballing and say, oh, fuck this, click it. No, this is better. This is my
dude. TikTok is a godsend because they've got the TikTok and Facebook. For some reason, my entire feed is nothing but Asian women dancing. I can watch that all day. I never get sick of it. Like, next one. Oh, she's got long legs. I like that. Next one. Oh, when did they get those? Hey, I like those. I love it. That's as techie as I get. Like, but as far as like, I could do emails and stuff on my computer. And thank God AI is starting to write my emails on my phone. Because I literally, some business would send me an offer, and I would send back some nasty stuff. I'd be like, fuck you. I don't care. Like, and now it's like, it's like I got a thing that says, are you interested? Or if you're interested, and then it'll auto-populate it. And then if I'm not interested, it'll auto-populate it. And I'll just be like, okay, not interested. Here, do that one.
No. I'm actually loving this Chat GTP thing. It does my invoices for me. It does my contracts for me. It does my bid offers for me. I just sit there, tell it what I need it to do. Make it look like this, make it look professional, this number, that number. And then it comes over, I can read it, then just tell it to make what little changes I need. Like I don't have to have like a bazillion little pieces of software anymore to do this crap. It's like, I love it. I love it. It's like,
well, that's the thing. AI it's everywhere now. It's in our phones, it's in our refrigerator, our laptops, like our car has AI working in it now. And it's just a matter of time until AI comes to the job site. I mean, it's already there because they're doing the 3D printed houses and stuff. Yeah. But it's coming where AI is going to be able to fully build a home. And what'll happen is they'll build it in a warehouse somewhere.
Yeah.
Then they'll ship it.
Yep.
And then all they'll need is people that can be like, oh, part A goes to part B, part C, and like everything is laid out, and building houses and doing all this stuff will take no time at all. And human beings will be relegated to watching.
Yeah. Well, that's what our government up here is pushing. They're pushing the modular agenda. Everyone gets the same house. Everyone gets the same price. Everyone gets the same thing. Like, okay, you want a new house and you want a custom home, we're going to charge you extra to do that. Or you can buy one of our little shit boxes that was made in a factory somewhere and then just tacked together. Like I'm scared that we're moving into a socialist society. Like it's.
Oh no, you're already there.
Like it's scary. Like the British colonies are just fucking screwed up. Like,
well, it's actually I would suggest that it's probably worse in Britain because you can't build new like in Europe, you're buying old and you're repairing old, but you're not really building new. So here and there, you're doing like for a big business or whatever you're doing, but for private residential, you're not really doing that. You look at Asia, and a lot of Asia is you're getting more apartment style high rises because of the limited land space that they have over there. America's really that North America. I'll say North America because I'll include Canada and Mexico. They're really the last places you can go and build if you want to build. And when our government decides that you're not going to build no matter what, because they've decided that the land is better use for them than you, what are you going to do? Most people don't have the wherewithal to fight. They'll just roll over and play.
We're gonna wake up one day, and the government's gonna say you have a choice between these 5 cars, these 5 houses, and well, don't worry, if you can't work, we've got a universal income, and we're gonna make sure you have that you have a home and stuff like that. And then if you can work, well, like that's the thing is like I don't want to see North America like the Last Stand become another Germany or something like that, where we're literally like, oh, you own 20 acres of land? Not anymore. Like it's like that's the thing that we got to fight for here is our freedoms and our liberties to not become a socialist society.
Well, we're watching the wildfires that went through California last year. And Apache was here. I don't know if he's still here, but the wildfires that went through California last year. Now we're watching the government of California say, "Oh no, we're going to have to claim these, and then from the people that legally paid for it, we're going to claim this area, and then we're going to build our own stuff there, and you can't live there anymore." It's just the dumbest thing, and the people of California are just going like, "Oh, please give me more of that." Like,
it's like I don't know what like Oregon, Washington State, California, the whole entire west coast of North America is just gone. Like their headspace is like, I want to be a slave, I want to be a servant, I want to be a drone. I don't need to own anything. I don't need to. It's horrendous. It scares the beans out of me.
I used to be afraid of living on the dole. These people are hoping to get up to the dole. Which I don't understand it. Like I challenge anybody to show me something the government does well that doesn't involve screwing up. Because they can screw up with the best of them. They just can't do anything well. You used to say maybe the post office was that one area that they could do well, but FedEx, UPS do it better than that. And UPS, by the way, I think they just announced that they're laying off like, I can't remember if it's 20, 40,000 people or whatever. They're the drivers. Remember 2 years ago when the drivers for UPS, it was announced that they got a new deal and they're going to make $110,000, $120,000 a year. Well, now they're looking for work because that model doesn't work. And what's UPS replacing them with? Automatic transit. AI is replacing drivers.
They've got drone deliveries. They got those auto driving vans. And that they got those little robot things that drive up and down the street.
Well, you could see the Tesla. What they got, the little robot humanoid looking thing. That they're going to be able to put out there. And those little humanoid robots, they don't care if it's hot outside. They don't care if it's cold.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. They'll go.
It's just the thing. And then what are the people going to do? They're going to lose their job. They're going to turn to the government and say, "Save me."
Yeah.
It's worse than indentured servitude, because indentured servitude, you at least had to work to get some benefit.
Yeah.
You got the benefit of beforehand, but that was it. Then you had to work for so many years as basically a non-citizen, which I don't want to use the slave word, because, you know, people, they only think of cattle, the chattel type slavery that we had in the American South.
Yeah.
But indentured servitude is a little easier for people to wrap their mind around, because it doesn't have any kind of negative race connotations to it.
Yeah.
But you had the same, almost the exact same rights.
Yeah.
You were treated pretty much the exact same way. Ask any Irishman that came to the United States or to North America in the early days, you know, right up until the 1900s, 1920s, really, and ask them how it was. I'm not Irish, by the way.
But no, it's like that. That's the thing, is we're going to live in a world where we're not going to be working. We're going to be sitting on a couch getting a government check, and we're not even going to be going to the grocery store. The food they want us to eat will be delivered to us, and that eventually there's going to be no need to even have us around anymore, to the point where they're going to go, well, you want to have children? Well, we have some rules to this, and you got to go through this and that. You want to have a child? Running Man, you get through this whole entire gauntlet alive, we'll let you have a kid.
How they'll probably do some form of, you have to be genetically predisposed of creating a human being that is likely or will benefit some society in some way. And they'll make you go through genetic testing and all that. And if you don't have the aptitude that they require, which is you lockstep in line with them, then they're going to tell you can't do it. I could see it happening. I'm going to be dead before that happens. So I don't really care.
Thank God.
No. Like, the world can catch on fire tomorrow. I'm going to be dead soon enough.
So sometimes I want to be immortal, just so that way I can just watch the first colony go into space to build a human civilization. Like, we're leaving the Earth, we're going to a planet, we're going to start a human civilization where it's just going to be us farming and living off the Earth. Like we're going to go colonize a planet and be like settlers, and just to get away from this technology.
Yeah, and then the people they send up, they're going to find out real quick that they don't know how to build anything.
Yeah. You have to work and learn how to do anything.
That'll be interesting. The first person in space should be a carpenter.
It will all start. Some archaeologist is going to find the buried ruins of a Home Depot, and they're going to see these tools and these how-to books, and there's going to become an uprising of people that is building lawn furniture. Didn't teach me how to make, man. Didn't tell me how to do anything else. Told me how to patch the wall in the house, but didn't tell me how to build the wall of the house.
I know. I wanted to do a series. I had some little pieces of wood that I was going to do like a small frame for a home, and show people how to lay it out and the proper way of marking, because they don't even show you the proper way of marking anymore. You see the dude using the tape or whatever. They don't know that you go back to 15 1/4. You don't mark it 16 on center.
Yeah, you go 3/4 of an inch, and then go on there, like, and none of that. Your corner overlap. Like, I go to these job sites, and their corner overlap. Your plywood on your first wall overlaps the thickness of your plywood, so that way when you butt your plywood, so you got a double lapped corner. So your 2x4 is running into the 2x4 of the wall. Then your plywood goes over to cover the 2x4, stop short. Then the plywood on there stops over. That's why you always carry two inch nails in your pouch, because you're gonna figure out where your first stud is gonna be. You're gonna put your nail in there, put your tape on it, run along, mark your studs, come back, do your windows, and write down the window information on the goddamn floor in front of the thing. Or you have people going, I don't know what cripple goes there. I don't know what goes there. Oh, you want me to look at a plan? Write it all down on the friggin' floor.
We used to, when we were doing the framing or whatever, we used to have a phrase that they don't use anymore, and it's very apparent that they don't use it anymore, and it was leave your line.
Yeah.
And the reason you do that is because you can go right up to that line, but you want to leave that line because that's the exact measurement that you want.
Yeah.
Now you see the guys centering that line in their blade, and then they've got the Bluetooth wall, which is, ironically enough, 1/4 of an inch off or 1/8 of an inch off.
Yeah.
And then they're expecting their nail gun to take up that space for them and correct it, which I'll never understand that, because I mean, you literally, anytime somebody new was cutting, the whole crew, like you would have 4 or 5 people going, leave the line, leave the line, leave the line.
Yeah.
You don't hear that phrase anymore. Yeah. It's not even uttered.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. When we were in the rafters and we'd be yelling out the measurements for our boards, we'd say, leave the line, cut the line, back of the line. Because that's like the 1/16 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch. So it allows me to, so instead of yelling out some strange crazy number like it's 59 1/4, I got 59 1/4, but it's actually 59 and a couple 16ths. I'm just going to tell them, leave the line, cut the line, or back of the line, and then that it's just so much easier, because you give a young kid a like, yeah, that's 5 inches and 16/32 of an inch. Like, what the fuck? Is that metric?
Oh.
Is that?
Dude, you know how aggravated I get? Because I did that. I can't even remember how old the video is, but I did a video on Pro Tape versus the Joe Tape.
Yeah.
I was like, Pro Tape doesn't have fractions on it. It's still to this day, I get people commenting, oh, those fractions are handy because I can't read the tape anymore. And I'm like, you don't need to read the tape. You just need to see the length of the dash.
Yeah.
Can you tell how long it is next to the one on either side of it? That tells you all you need to know.
Yeah.
It just aggravates me how many professionals don't know how to read a freaking tape. Like that we couldn't even do anything. We couldn't cut, we couldn't do anything until we taught somebody how to read the tape.
Yeah. Well, you look at that new digital tape. Okay. What's the bonus of working with a normal tape? You build up memory, because now you're having to memorize numbers. You don't, like, when you get good at doing carpentry construction, you're not writing the numbers down anymore. You're storing them up here. So you're building up memory. You're building your brain, but and stuff like that. And you're just becoming more diverse. These digital tape measures that these guys are playing out there are going to make they're going to have less memory retention. They're going to be dependent on a piece of technology that's overrated, like that laser on that stupid thing. Like they're showing, look, you can pull it out and you can, and then the laser marks it. But if you're just off by like a 1/16 of an inch of being perfectly parallel and you go mark that laser line, you're going to have a nice little diagonal line like that. Like, oh, but it's got a little level in it. Yeah, but I'm working flat down and I'm measuring this way, it's like, and then even at that, you're still going to have to pull out your speed square eventually, what they say it's going to replace, because you got to line stuff up. And that's like, why? Well, look, I can measure inside the window. So can I. I just go and mark 10 out from one corner and measure to that line and add the two. Oh, look, now I'm doing math, building brain power. And like, it's like that's tool such a gimmick for DIYers, but so many people in the trades are going to take it, and they're just like, I'm like, there are some tools out there that are making stupid people.
Well, the one I never used, and I don't understand why it's a thing now, but they have the not just the laser tape measure, but they had the laser distance measurer.
Yep.
Right. Well, we used to measure that by hand, And oh my, so when you're doing the outside of a structure, you're laying the foundation to the structure, whatever, you would use your line.
Yeah.
So you would just take a piece of string, you put a stake into the ground, and you'd run the stake down to the other, to the string down to the other one, and then you would mark. You put it on the same side as the where you started out with.
Yeah.
And that's how we used to lay everything out.
Yeah. The
The other thing is when we did, because if you've never done ironwork, like big structure ironwork, might not make any sense to you, but it's really difficult to get a laser to turn a corner in any accuracy.
Yeah.
So when we were doing it, when the first the foundational floors, right? What you're doing is you're using a tube with water in it.
Yeah.
And you can run that all the way around, and it's always the same. No matter where it is on that structure, it's always the same. And you can mark out your whole structure that way and get it up that way. So I never used I never used the laser distance measure because I always thought they were frivolous. I look at them, I'm like, what do I need that for?
Yeah.
Can I go diagonal? Well, I can use the Pythagorean theorem then.
Yeah, that's I actually earlier this week I showed a kid that because I wanted him to put all my plates down on the foundation and that and stuff like that, and I'm like, well, we got to make sure this thing's dead square. So I put down my one plate. We take the string line, we run it all the way down the other side, and I measure out. Okay, well, I'm gonna go 15 feet, then I'm going to go this way, and then you measure the distance from there to there, and it should be this. And if it's that, then that's where we're going to put our pencil mark, and then we're going to then we're going to put our board down to that. So, and I say, yeah, it's the 3-4-5 rule. Pythagoras. It's simple, it's easy, it's fast, easy way. And he's like, his mind was blowing. He's like, I don't. Wow. And it's like, to me, it's like that was like elementary school math. It's like, seriously. But
yeah, anybody that's gone through ninth grade should at least know how to do the Pythagorean theorem.
It's like God, man, like it's, but that's the thing. Is like there's so many very useful math, like good math formulas. Like I got, like, when I was younger, I was good at math. Now I'm a little bit, but that's the thing is my dad taught me all these formulas because he was a friggin' idiot savant. My father he was a mechanic. He was a heavy duty diesel mechanic, but he built houses. He did everything. But he had a really scholarly education. Like, he could have went and worked for NASA if he wanted to, but he was happy with what he did. But he taught me all these formulas, like for doing arches. Like I've made videos on them in the past. Like, so before I built the house, I get the plans 2 weeks before. I'd have everything figured out, all my measurements and everything for that project, and I'd have a cut list of everything in the dimensions and that, without having to do marking anything out on the floor or anything like that. I had everything figured out, and that's the thing that I really liked about construction was, like, for me, it was like all this new formulas, and like, oh wow, if I can do this and make this fancy arch and all this stuff. It was like it just blew my mind. It's like, and nowadays you got kids watching YouTube of these guys with a big empty floor, hoping they got enough floor space to snap these lines out and use their tape measures and figure out this arch. Like, you come in and, like, I like it when young kids watch my math videos, like that. I've actually had some people watch those videos and go, holy crap, that was pretty cool. I had one kid, he actually went into a job site where they ended up having to do an arch, and these guys are getting ready to lay it out on the floor, and he comes over with his phone and the calculator on his phone, and he's like, types in the three numbers that three measures. He comes over with his tape measure, puts a mark on the plywood here, takes his string line and pencil, There you go, arch right there, exactly one. And everyone on the job site was like, "Oh wow, that was fast!" Like took them like literally like a minute to figure it out. I mean, you know how these guys would have been on the floor, two of them sitting there, snapping chalk lines all over the place. And then when you go to lay out your walls, you got all these other lines going. Do I build something here?
Yeah.
Okay, let's build a curved wall for them.
Oh, dude, no, I definitely feel your pain there. I could remember, if they've not been on a job site, they don't really know. But everything that's on that is marked for a reason.
Yeah.
Right. So you're marking out where you're laying your electric, where you're laying your interior walls, the doorways, the window. Literally, you're laying everything out, and it's a mark. And the mark doesn't have to be huge. It could be just so big. So any extra marks that are on there, you're looking around like, what the hell is this thing? Then you're going back to the plans to look up, and back when we used blueprints, right? Back when you use blueprints, you're looking at the blueprint, you're pulling it out, and you're like, "Is that supposed to be there? No,
is it something that was added in later by an architect?"
Yeah. What revision are we on? This is the 9th. What did the 8th have it on there? No. Okay, somebody was probably screwing around.
Like Jim Perman, he turned around and said, if you lay out a wall and then you come back and you re-snap that wall because you moved it,
wasted your time.
He turned around and says, make sure you're the one that builds that wall. Don't let someone else like turn around and say, okay, you guys build that wall, you guys build that wall, I'll build this one, because they're gonna forget that you moved that wall, and so they're going to be looking at those two lines that are snapped going, what the hell, which line am I going on? Is that it's because like I've done that. I've mismeasured, snapped out a 100-foot wall, and then it's like, oh shit, I gotta go 2 inches this way. So I grab the red chalk line, I snap the red line, so that way I know to build on the red line. But right. I know if I tell these guys go build that wall, they're building to the black line. And they're going to see the red line. They're going to see the black line. You know where that wall is going to end up, on the black line, because that's where they were building all the walls to. So
yeah, no, that's true. Right. No, I used to hate it when, because the other thing that they tell you, a square is not square. It's not necessarily square. It's just as close approximation to square as you can get.
Yeah,
and then And ironwork, when you're doing it, the bottom floors take more bolts than the top floors, which makes sense because it's carrying more weight. So whenever you see a plan that's like you're at the you're at the 8th floor, right, and then you're working up to the 30th floor, if those two have the same number of bolts, you just stop.
Yeah.
And you go back to you go back to the architect, and you're like, dude, this ain't right. We can't do this. Because municipalities don't know jack. They don't understand how weight dispersion. You try to tell I at least I did, the reason you put your studding in, it's not to make the wall necessarily straight. Yeah. But you're putting your studding in to disperse weight over a greater distance and help carry weight over a greater distance. Because you can you can make a building technically that only has 4 studs, 1 in each corner, but it's going to sag over time because the weight distribution doesn't get dispelled over a big enough area. Yeah. Well, it's the same thing no matter what you're building. You have to have that support structure in there to distribute that weight. So when I'm talking to somebody about bolt, the bolt count, what's a bolt count on the 4th floor? All right. I know it's going to be only certain numbers. I know depending on the height of the building, right? You're going to get 7, you're going to get 9, or you're going to get 12.
Yeah.
Those are your bolts, depending on how far you're going up. But you just tell somebody that, like a layperson, that, and you go, well, I know what floor they're on just by the bolt, the bolt count. It's just not one of those things that comes up because they're not used to thinking that way. And they're not used to thinking that when you're building in metal sounds hard, but metal moves ever so slightly over time. So if you don't have enough bolts in there, what ends up happening is the weight distribution isn't right for that expansion and contraction. And those bolts will either shear or they'll work loose. And then you've got a crippling effect for everything above that.
I've had inspectors in the past come look at work, and they see the expansion joint that we leave on the steel between some of the beams that we do, and like, oh my god, why is that not touching? And it's like, because if that's touching and the building shifts or shakes, that it's coming down. We got to leave that little bit of expansion there, because the metal on this floor is going to expand and contract at this rate, and that it's like that. That's the thing is, I swear, before you can become an inspector, you need to work in the field of the industry that you're going to be inspecting, so you actually know what's going on, not just by what a book, because the book that they give you doesn't tell you the ins and outs and that like, it's like you got to work in the trade before you go around bashing other people's work.
I still tell people this: the code book is the minimum.
Yeah,
it's the minimum standard that you need to know to build a structure. Yeah, but not every structure is a minimum structure. Yeah, right. So
no, go ahead. Go ahead. When we were doing the high rise in Vancouver, all the concrete pours, we were building these massive forms, and I told the guy, these forms, they're 40 feet high, 100 feet long. The cranes lifting them up and down, moving them from floor to floor. There's no such thing as overkill. Beef the friggin' hell out of those things. If you look at it and it doesn't look strong enough to you, use your discretion, man. Throw some more wood on that thing. I'm not going to cry. I'm not. I'm not. Let's do it.
You know what? I used to use the Tower of Pisa as an example of building everything to the minimum. Because why does it lean? Well, they didn't take into account the weight of the stuff that they would put into it. Yeah. So the foundation that they had on there wasn't enough to support the weight. So I always used to tell people that you were building for worst case. Yeah. What's the most you can put in here? What's the most amount of weight that something like this can take? And then you get into talking to how many PSI does the foundation concrete have to have? Yeah. And most people, because they watch VCG, 5,000 PSI in a bucket, if it's cured for how long? 60 days. Yeah. Right. Well, what job site you going to that gives it 60 days to cure?
Yeah. We're starting the next floor one day and the next morning. This is dry enough. Let's go.
Yeah. Nice. Is it solid enough to stand on? Next.
Right. Like the Woodward's Tower, there's the auditorium. The auditorium is literally built to be a bomb shelter. It's a backup bomb shelter. The walls are 6 feet thick of concrete, and we poured that thing in one day. All man come, and they wanted us to start building on it the very next day. And I said, no, this thing's sitting for a month before we even build it, because that's 6 feet of concrete. The center of that is not friggin' cured yet. Have you ever seen concrete dust? Like, yes. When you start putting weight on it, it starts to dust on the inside, and then it just but like it's Even with like even with my simple slabs, before building on it, putting any weight on it, like out in Alberta, we used to leave all the basements that we poured for a good couple weeks, to at least 2 weeks, and we had less floor cracking because we didn't have a house sitting on soft concrete. Like that's the thing. That's why a lot of these concrete foundations are cracking, is because 2 days later they're putting thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds of house on this concrete that hasn't cured, hasn't solidified. Like it's not done.
Well, you can almost tell when it's going to crack before the concrete's even poured, because if you look at their gravel layer and you see if they've tamped it down, right? You look to see if there's any imperfection in that tamping layer, because you can tell. Like if you've got a lot of experience, you can just look down there and you can kind of tell. You can be like, okay, we need to go in and we need to tamp in that area. We need to press that down a little bit more. But you get guys, like I see it a lot now, when they're just doing foundations for houses or whatever. They're laying out their boards on the outside, and they're not ever looking inside. They're not looking to see if that tamping layer is there. So when they're building the house and that crack shows up, and it'll show up real early, that crack shows up in the concrete, they're lost. They don't know why it's there. They're just like, oh, it happens in every building. No, it doesn't. It only happens in the buildings of the people that built with incompetence.
Yeah. And none of that. You like if you're doing a foundation, you want to get as close to the clay level that you can. And so if your clay's 15 feet down, you're gonna want to go. You're going to want to try to get as close to that as you can and put some piles. Like even a slab, these houses being built on slabs, so like they're packing down soil, then putting gravel on it, packing it down. But they could fix the whole entire house, twisting and cracking, and that just by putting a couple piles that go straight down to the clay. And in 90% of the places around the world, the clay is usually only 5 to 10 feet down. It's really not that far unless you're on the side of the hill. But if you're on the side of the hill, sometimes you get lucky and there's a freaking massive rock there that you can drill into. But that's the thing. The trick is clay. But that's the thing. These guys, they don't want to. They just want to build the house and get out of there. They don't want to like come in and take a post hole auger with the 4-inch auger on it and a couple extensions and just get down there and find that clay. Second the auger stops, you found the clay, or you found something hard to support the house. Right?
You'll feel it. You'll feel that suction as it's going in. You'll feel the suction on the rod, so you'll know when you've reached the right depth. Which is again, it's something they don't talk to you about at school, because you're not going to learn it until you're out there, because you're never going to need to know it until you're out there doing it. Oh, here in Missouri, we do a lot of full basements for homes.
Yeah.
And what these guys do is they'll come in, they'll dig down to, I think it's 7 feet. They'll dig down, whether it's 7 feet to the clay or not, whether it's 7 feet to what you should be doing or not, that's what you're going to get.
Yeah.
And then they're taking like a 2-inch layer of rock. Well, first of all, that's not enough rock.
No,
it's not enough gravel under there, but they're putting 2-inch layer of gravel down.
Yeah.
And then they're putting their basement on top of that. And so here in Missouri, you get a lot of the mud jackers or whatever. The people come in to fix your foundation. Well, your foundation was screwed up because the person that built your house didn't know what they were doing to begin with. So they didn't take the extra time it would take because you want, depending on how big the house is, that's how much gravel you're going to need, right?
Yeah.
So if you've got a 2-story house, you want 8 inches of gravel underneath that basement.
Usually about 8 inches.
Yeah, if it's a 1-story house, you want 4 to 6, just depending on where you are, where the water plate is in your area. And and then on the outside of it, something you never see them do They're not putting a vapor barrier on the outside of their basements. So you don't have anywhere for the water to go underneath your house. It's all building up on the side of your house. Well, where's it going to go?
Yeah.
In any crack that it can find.
Any crack, but even into the concrete. Concrete is very porous. It drinks water. It will drink water, and then it will sweat it on the warm side of the building, which is inside the house. And if it's and if you get a freeze and there's moisture, excess moisture in the concrete, it's going to crack. It's just going to shatter. But the other thing that drives me crazy too is these people that aren't getting down to the clay level. I look at their footing for their stem wall or their concrete wall. They got these little tiny 12-inch or 16-inch footings. And okay, you're floating this on soil that's been compacted, but that soil is still going to compress more over time, or it's going to shift. But give yourself like decent footing, so that way it's spread out more. And if you got to, run an extra footing down the center of the basement and pour your slab on top of that, because that's going to help support the slab too. Because that's the thing. Most of these guys, they'll just go and pour a slab over the gravel with a little bit of rebar in there, or sometimes they even forget the rebar. And the next, there's nothing in the middle of that floor, and you got a basement that's 20, 30 feet wide. There's nothing there holding it.
Well, there used to be a thing that they would build houses with called the cornerstone, and it was actual stone. It was a big stone. And that big stone was it had a flat top to it, and it had a flat bottom. They would chisel it out to make sure it got, and it's bigger than you think. Like if you've never looked at them, they're massive. And that was so that your house had a positive foundation.
Yeah.
Like that stone was not going to go anywhere, because the weight of the home, that whole corner of the home, would be distributed over the size of that one rock. And then very little weight actually is getting transferred through the stone to the ground. It was a much better way of building than what we do now.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest regrets I have is not learning more of the old ways of building.
Yeah.
And just because I got into the 80s, and when we were doing the 80s, we're still doing emperor studs.
Yeah. Yeah.
And still building up that way. And then you're using your king studs, your jack studs to come off for your windows, your doors, or whatever. You're using your cripplers, your headers, stuff we're still doing now. But the reason they had those emperor studs up there was, again, for weight distribution over the whole length of the house.
Yeah.
It's just stuff that we don't look at today.
Well, balloon framing is coming back. The old way is coming back because the code's now changing to allow it, because we've got new fire rating materials that work pretty good, that we can fill those gaps. And that's the thing, is right. My grandfather, he was a rep for Craftsman for a long time. He invented tools for Craftsman, stuff like that. But he made a lot of money selling the catalog houses, delivering them, and installing them. And when I was a kid, I used to go out and watch him do this stuff, and that's how I first learned how to build houses. Then when I started building them in the like in the 90s is when things really got changed up, and it was like, what we're doing platform? What the hell's this? And you're standing on the top of the floor on the second floor, shaking the house like, look, it's moving. And then one's going, that's because you're big and fat, dumbass.
That was true though.
but that's the thing, is like that's the one thing, always made me scratch my head, because I watch a lot of the American guys working on houses. They'll build the house, then they'll do all the sheeting afterwards, and they're up there on scaffolding and ladders, lifting the sheeting up into place, and here we are in Canada from day one. We're like, the walls on the ground, 3, 4, 5, square it out, sheet it, stand the damn thing. We already got our shear value. The house ain't moving. It's that. But what drove me crazy is when they introduced the nailing pattern, and then they also for a couple of years they made us paint the heads of the nails, so the inspector could look at the wall and go, okay, that's the right nail, that's the wrong nail. But some companies out there would just paint the nails whatever color they wanted. Just like, well, we're not spending that money on those nails, so let's paint these nails. But it's kind of fun. It's like, you want me to paint my nails? What do I look like a girl to you? I'm not painting my nails. But I just like it was hilarious. But that's the thing, like the T-square, drywall T-square here in Canada anyways, is a must-have for an apprentice. Do you know why? Because you got to get used to your eye to distance, be able to distance stuff with eye. So using a T-square and marking out like on both sides, because we got two nailing patterns. We got shear pattern, and then we got center pattern. And so you just on one side you use a red marker, and you put your lines for your nails pattern for that one. On the other side, you use a black marker. So you drop it down, you take your gun, you nail it on, you make sure you're hitting the stud every time. Now you're getting into a rhythm of working with your hand always straight and being able to eyeball it to the point where eventually you no longer need that T-square, and you're just getting your spacing just right. Like what one of the biggest things, like Jim Perman, who taught me a lot of stuff, he used to grab a 12-foot 2x4, hold it up to a wall with one hand, put the nail in his, like from his mouth into the head of his hammer, bam, eyeball the thing perfectly level. You could put a level on it. He said, when you can do that, you're ready.
Right.
And the first day that I actually did it myself, I'm like, okay, because like that's the thing, a lot of stuff, even with this fence, like I'll run my string line, I'll eyeball it. It's like, that's good, nail it off, run my boards and then I can go along with the level, and it's within 1/8 of an inch the whole way down, like hundreds of feet down. That's another thing that we're losing, like the whole entire spatial awareness, distances, being able to eyeball distances. Like you ask people what is 6 inches, and like that tape measure thing where they're pulling a tape measure. Yeah. What's 6 inches? No, that's not. You might think that's
the woman that got that guesses 4 on the 6 is the one you marry.
Yeah.
The one that guesses 8 on a 6 is the one you avoid. You're just like, that hole's too deep. Just go somewhere else. No, I think it's a lot of skills that we're losing today, which is unfortunate that we are, but I don't know that the younger generation really wants to learn it. I'll know. I know when I got sick of working with young people, and I did get sick of it because I got sick of explaining everything, is when I'm doing a California corner on something.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, why are you doing that? It's so that the person doing the drywall can come along and have something there to actually anchor to, and we can keep them on schedule. When I got sick of explaining that to people, that's when I knew it was time. Like, I was like, I'm just going to go ride a dozer, because I was still working with Oxygen, and I was still out there doing the driving, doing the hammering, doing all the work and whatnot. I wasn't as fast, but I could still do it. When I just got to the point where I'm like, I don't want to explain myself to you because it hurts me to breathe right now, and talking to you is just a waste of my freaking time. So go bother somebody else. Just shut up. I don't want to talk to you anymore.
Yeah.
That's when I knew it was like, okay, I gotta find some other avenue to keep myself productive until I actually planned on dying back then, because I didn't know what was wrong with me. I just knew that I couldn't breathe anymore.
Yeah.
And that's when I found out I had the tumors, and ended up having to get out of the trades anyway, because I wasn't allowed to lift more than 5 pounds. I'm still not supposed to lift more than 5 pounds, but I do it all the time.
Yeah.
But I would say the last 15 months that I was on the job, I was just in a dozer.
Yeah.
And because I could be on the dozer with my Oxygen and no one would talk to me.
Yeah.
And that's the way I liked it, because I got to the point where I was just not a kind human being to be around.
Yeah.
Because like if you can't breathe, you're not going to be nice anyway.
Yeah.
And I just got to that point where I didn't want to be around people, and I didn't want anybody to be there for me. Like I was just like, I know what I'm doing. Just leave me the hell alone, and we'll get this done. And if you come to talk to me, I am probably going to be mean to you. So, and as the owner, that's probably a very negative thing.
Yeah.
But I ended up having to hire people for other people to talk to have those people come talk to me.
Yeah.
Because I was the last person you wanted. Because if I had to explain something to you twice, I was going to fire you.
Well, for last couple of years, I've been working with the local college out here, teaching kids a little bit of mechanics and some woodworking stuff. And last year, I just got tired of the kids not paying attention. Like they're standing there, don't know what they're looking at, don't know what they're listening to. But when I at the end of what I'm instructing them on, I give them the test, and they all fail the friggin' test. Like, what were you guys doing? Like, did you have your phone in your pocket or something? Like, it was just driving me crazy. It's like, you guys say you want to learn, but you're not paying attention and you're not learning. And so I just got tired of teaching. And like, same thing with why I just got tired of having to, like, I got out of the high rise and the construction, went back to the mechanics because I could do the mechanics by myself. I didn't have to worry about it because I got tired of managing a big crews and the Olympic boom that we had in Vancouver here during the Olympics, that ran me thin, because I was hiring and firing about 300 people a day, like just to keep the job going. You can't work, you're on drugs, you came in, got a paycheck, disappeared for 2 weeks, and like it just drove me crazy. And then having to go around fixing stuff, like it's like, I'm not supposed to be the one out here doing all the work. I shouldn't be babysitting you guys. And finding enough skilled guys to like fill my boots. It's like, okay, I'm done. I took that looked at ITC, said, hey man, I'm done. Take buy my equipment off me, buy me out, buy my end of the contract. I'm done. I can't do this anymore. Went to do my own little thing on my own, perfectly fine, and just a lot happier. Like now and then I get lucky, and there's a kid that's actually excited and wants to learn something, and I need a laborer for a day or two. Next, I keep him for a month, and I teach him what I can in that month, and then I run in, like Canada's such a small population, you run into everyone everywhere all the time.
Right.
But that's things I run into kids that, like, over the last couple of years that I've had work for me, like, oh man, I loved what we were doing with you and what you taught me. So I went working for this company, and now I'm doing this and that. I got a kid, I got a good job and all that stuff. It's like, oh well, yeah, a success story, but that's the thing, is like it's horrendous. I actually go down, like, when I need day laborers, back in the 80s, used to go to the Salvation Army. They'd be outside the Salvation Army with a brown paper bag lunch ready to go. Just ready to go. They don't do that anymore. They don't give you a brown paper bag lunch. They wake up, have breakfast, and ready to go. But I go down to the immigration office. I just go down to the immigration office if I need a day labor. I'll turn around and say, I got 4 days of work. It's cash in hand. Let's go. And I've actually had some pretty good guys. Like, I've had a couple Sikh kids that are like gun ho to the point where they're like, I want to have a business in this. I want to do this. Right? And it's like great, but friggin' finding a white kid nowadays, like what's wrong? What yes, the superior race has fallen. Jesus.
No, I don't know. I guess I didn't get to that point where I had people coming back to me, because I think my last healthy year was 2012. And I got out of the trades in 2017.
Yeah.
And between 2012 and 2017, I was just so miserable to everybody. Yeah. Like, I couldn't keep anybody around me. We had three guys I went to college with. We had all started this thing together, KBT, and but they were there. That was the initials of the business, and we all ran it together or whatever. And then they all decided that they were going to go do their own thing at some point, and it was just me. And I got to the point where, like, I hated everybody. I was just miserable. I hated talking to folks. I didn't want to be around anybody. And the inspector would come in, and if they thought we were going to fail an inspection, the guys would come get me, because they know I'd stand there and I would yell at that inspector and tell him what a stupid SOB he was and how he didn't know what he was doing. And then the inspector would leave, and then they'd send somebody else.
Yeah.
And then the other inspector would be like, oh, that guy's here. I'm going to be nice to you guys. So, yeah, because they didn't want me to come over. And it worked, but I was not happy doing it. I still wanted to do it because I enjoyed what I was doing. I just didn't want anybody else there. So when I got the opportunity to go into solar and do solar, because I did solar right up until I started this channel.
Yeah.
I think that November was the last job that I did, and that was for the military. I could go there, and it was a bunch of young people, because the military would provide me with labor.
Yeah, nice. Like that.
So and I would stand there and I could yell at those guys, and they would just take it.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, "This is exactly what I want."
Looking at you going, "You ain't nothing compared to our drill sergeant."
Dude, I had one dude that I worked with for a few months who was going to go into the military, which is why I brought him on. Yeah. And he came back to me after he had been too basic, because we were finishing up a job. He wanted to come finish up the job after basic before he was going to be deployed. And he was like, "You said some things to me that my drill instructor would have never said." And he's like, "Compared to you, it was a cakewalk."
Yeah.
But I was like, "Thank you. My father was a drill instructor, so I'm well versed."
That's the reason why I decided to move off grid and live in the forest, because I got to the point in my life where I would make I made some tough cookies cry. And it's like I was like, okay, now this I can't do this, because like when I lost my cool, I lost my cool. Like there was an on and off switch. That's because my father was in the Korean War. He raised me as a Korean War soldier, and but that's the thing is like, and when I started getting so disgruntled with the people around me, even my neighbors. I had a neighbor that annoyed me. This is the big reason why I was on the verge of just burning his friggin' house down. Like, lock the doors, chain, yeah, take the dog, you're coming over with me. But it's like, but that's the thing is like, when you start making like tough people cry, you know, it's time to walk away. When you break hardened people, it's like, yeah, it's time for me to, I'm done. It's like, I can't do this.
Well, I was doing construction, and I had an insurance company. I was the trainer for both. Like, I was one of the people that, like, on the construction side, I wasn't there all the time. So when I would show up and when I would have to do it, I would have some new guy with me a lot of the time, and I would be telling them, this is why I'm laying it out this way. And I was very specific as to why I'm laying it out this way, what I want to do. This is how it's going to end up looking. And then when I would go in to do the insurance training, I would do the same thing. Well, we're setting up call centers for insurance yes, folks, telemarketing, deal with it. Anyway, one of my roles with doing the training there was to listen to people's call, and then I'd talk to them after that, and then we'd put them out on the floor, and I would be able to listen in to their calls while they were on the phone with a client. and I could break in, take over the call, or I could tell them, hey, this is what I want you to do. Like, and guide them through it. Well, it got to the point where on some of these, like, you're telling them the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah.
I could just walk through the aisle and I would stand at your desk and you knew I was listening to you. And then I would turn and look at you. And that person would, like, I had a lot of like full size men break down and cry on the phone with a customer because I'm standing there looking at them.
Yeah.
And they know exactly, like, I would be like, hang up. We're not going to burn this lead. Hang up.
Yeah.
And then I would stand there and I'd be like, why am I here? And they'd be like, well, I said this again. And I'm like, so you knew you said it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why? Why did you say it again? It's just something I do. No, it ain't. Not if you're working here, because this is illegal. Like, we can get in trouble if they pull these tapes and they listen to you say this stuff. We're in trouble.
Yeah.
And it's very exacting. It never quite left. Like, that side of me never left. So even when I was on the job site and I would talk to somebody, if I'm telling you the third time, I'm standing there and looking at you. I ain't saying a word. I'm just standing there looking at you. And I'm letting you run it through in your mind what I'm thinking or what I'm going to say to you. And you would be amazed at how many dudes just break down.
Yep.
Just because you're standing there looking at them.
Yep. Like I said, my father used to have me paranoid when he came out of the yard because I knew if he, like he's going to find something, and that passed on to me, and I did the same thing to the guys that work for until like that. That was the nice thing about having Jim and Bob working for me, and that two grizzled old guys, and like, you know what? You can't, like, if you're walking on the job site and it's not serious, crack a jokes. That way they're not friggin' scared shitless of you. It's like, just walk in, make a joke, and then like, okay, we're not going to be in shit today. But the only come in with a serious face if it's going to be serious, because that's how you're going to lose your guys on this site really fast. And that, like, because like I used to carry 3 hammers in my pouch. I had my finishing hammer, my little tiny for tight spaces. I had my framing hammer, and then I had the framing axe. And the rumor on the job site was, why does Turner carry 3 hammers? Well, the first one is your first warning, second one is your second warning, third one is you're fired. And you know which fired when that framing axe comes and you're scaring everyone that's working for you. Am I really that bad? It's like, oh yeah, because like I have been known to throw crap at people. Like mostly when I see them doing something stupid, next you know a small chunk of 2x4 comes winging across your head. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, good. Well, that's why you're wearing your hard hat. It's because I'm here.
Man, I did one video, and I said on there, I was like, you know, the nail gun was one of the tools that have deteriorated the most amount of skill on the job site. Because back in the day, if somebody cut something wrong, you could take your hammer and you could get your point across pretty doggone quick, which typically you throw it, right? You just chuck it at somebody. Well, you can't do that to your nail gun because that's like a $300 tool that's going to be in pieces if you do that. And, you know, there's always the lawsuit that comes after that.
Yeah.
But hammer, you could be like, let me express myself.
Yeah.
And it was a different time. You know, a lot of the things that they do today are superior. They take safety more seriously than we took it back in the day. Yeah. They take hydration a lot more serious than we did back in the day. Because I mean, you've been there. I know I've been there. There are days where you're seeing double.
Yeah.
And you don't want to come off what you're doing, because the longer you're there,
Yeah.
So you're just trying to power through it, and we've all powered through it. Which was the issue. We all had powered through it at some point, but there are some days you're seeing double, and you're like, which one of these do I hit? Let's be ginger about this. So there are some things that they do better today. It's not all negative.
Yeah,
because a lot of their building, the ideas that go into their building are superior to what we had in the day. The equipment is 100 times better than what I started out with.
Yeah,
even because now even the hammers are better than what we had back then. Which is sad because you think about it, like they've got Boss, Stiletto, and what's the other one?
Oh,
Really nice.
Yeah.
It's a Hispanic name. Anyway.
You know what you're talking about.
Yeah. But I carried a Stanley. I had a Hart, or an old red Hart that I carried forever. It was just this guy's really trying hard to get our goat, but he doesn't matter in life anyway, so I don't care.
That's just Dave. He's stoned right now, probably.
Oh, all right.
He's from back when I was doing mechanics work.
Oh,
he's
that's the thing.
He's upset because I don't have him on the stream tonight.
Martinez, that's it. Martinez hammer. Those are nice, but those hammers are a lot better than what we had back in the day. Because I mean, I carried hickory handled, and it was a Stanley for the longest time. I can remember when I got a better hammer, which was my first metal hammer. And I think it took me all of 3 days to bend it.
Yeah.
Right. Because even that they weren't the best. Just a little.
How about East Wing and a nice dull razor that their handle was? If you missed and your fingers were away, the freaking handle was going to take your fingers with it. God, those things were brutal.
And then the techniques that we had, there was no such thing as finesse back in the day.
Yeah.
It was all brute force.
Yeah.
That's all we ever used was brute force. We would make something fit, whether it was going to fit there or not, it was going to fit.
Yeah.
Today, they've got such great machinery that can do these things now, things that we never even dreamed of having back in the day, that they have now. And it makes their job so much easier because, if your crane didn't get to the exact point that you needed and you couldn't get your spud wrench in there to give you leverage.
Yeah.
Well, it was you and a buddy, and you two were up there and you were both using your spud wrench and you were both just brute forcing everything into place.
Yeah.
And that's stuff they don't have to worry about today because everything is so exact when they're making things today. A lot of the guesswork is out of the job site. Now, some of it's still there, but not like before.
Yeah.
Not like in the 80s.
Well, cutting technology has come miles. Like no more oxyacetylene. Plasmas even starting to become obsolete because these new laser torches, they're so friggin' clean. And that I remember having to do oxygen arc gouging, the big old iron pipe with the oxygen feeding through it, stiff the steel wool. You wanted a nasty looking cut, but sometimes you had to do it. It's like you got a giant chunk of steel or a piece of concrete in your way, and you got to do something with it. But that's the things like have you seen that chainsaw that they make that cuts through concrete?
No. Oh no, I have not.
Friggin' chainsaw, that dead accurate. They literally just go boom, right through the concrete. Well,
that's amazing.
Like
that's amazing.
I would have loved to had that one. Because those old hydraulic saws that we used to use with little hand cranks, crank it up, pushing the wall, and it's all exposed. You're praying that you don't get caught in the motor. And
here's a tool that it didn't exist when you and I probably, because I started working out in the field in 88. So I don't know when you started, but 88 was my first year. It was May of 88, as a matter of fact, because I was working on my birthday that year. So I remember it vividly. But here's a tool that they didn't have available when I started that would have been a godsend to us back in the day. It's the portable bandsaw.
yeah.
Oh my God. Could you imagine what we would have, first of all, the injuries that we would have caused? But even beyond that, just the things that we could have done had we had that tool there.
Yeah.
Sorry, somebody sent me a message for some reason. The cutting oils that they use today to make holes in beams, we didn't have that. We use 3-in-1. All right.
Yeah, 3-in-1 or whatever was on your dipstick sometimes.
Soda was a good one because
Yeah.
it would keep your bit cool. Wouldn't do anything for the steel, but it would keep your bit cool, and that's sometimes all you need.
Yeah.
No, it is like I do enjoy, and that's why I can still do this. I still enjoy seeing the new stuff that they come out with all the time. And in my mind, I'm like, what could we have done?
Look at the drill bit technology that we have now. Like we've got drill bits that like I remember when I first started long time ago when I was doing millwrights, drilling holes in stainless steel. I was smoking bits like spending a fortune. I got a set of bits that I've had for the last 10 years. I haven't smoked one out yet because they're cryo temper treated, like cryo treated and all that. Norseman USA made drill bits. And like back in the day, we had those old nasty black oxides, and you're always sitting there having to sharpen them and freaking go again, sharpen them, go again, get 3-4 holes. And then you look at those new ones, those multi-materials that these guys are using, freaking concrete, glass, anything, and like it's.
You're right, because we used to have a specific type of drill bit for everything that we were doing, and it was always different. You would have your brad for your wood, and you could tell which one was what just by looking at the end. Which is a lot of and you remember the old metal, the old metal cutting bits used to have a burr right at the tip, and that burr was to make your reservoir, and that's what would hold your oil until you were all the way through it. And now they've got those titanium bits, which are pretty well indestructible. You can do whatever you want with them.
Titanium, friggin'.
It's amazing. Like the router bits, when we were doing trim, because we used to have to make our own trim, folks. It didn't come from the store that way. We made it our damn selves.
How have you ever used those table saw trim bits that you put into the table saw, and they cut your on the old planer, just sitting there, just, ooh, praying your fingers don't go into it on your feet. Dude, I still have some of those bits. I don't have the tools that they go on anymore, but I still have some of those bits because I kept them because they are just the coolest things.
I love I absolutely do love what we've got today. I can remember explaining to people, because when you're doing trim in a home for somebody, or you're matching old trim, which is something we used to do a lot when we're doing renos or whatever, we're matching trim. And telling somebody that you can see whether it's a 3-bit or a 4-bit or whatever, because you're looking at the negative space.
Yeah.
And explaining to people how the router bit, well, I can go quarter cross here, and then I got to get my big round over bit to do the next transition. Or you're using the pyramid shape, which is the step bit, right? And you're explaining to them how that's going to go and how that works in here. And the people are like, well, did they do that to make this? And you're like, yeah, because it was all the same. Like, we all had the same crap. We didn't have the good, and you were going out to buy basically a new router bit every 3 jobs, because the router bits didn't hold up for anything, because we only used
carbide steel like it
No.
is back then. Like,
we just had this garbage. But you got to know, okay, well, I can go to this, like this one will last a little bit longer if I use this one specific company, but they're not really good at this other shape. So you know, your bit box for your trim was probably 4 or 5 different companies in one box, and it was only 15 bits.
Yeah.
That's all you ever carried, because that's all anybody ever had. Now I see I've got one over here from Skill. I think it's got like 65 bits in it.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I'm probably only going to use like 5.
I got the Canadian Tire. They sell a big kit like that. There's like 101 bit router bits in this stupid thing. I think I've only used 4 out of that whole entire thing, and I keep walking past it all the time, going, "Why the hell did I buy this damn thing? Why?" Never know. Someday, one day. But you want to talk about router technology? Last year, like I used to, like my partner and Terry, they do hardwood flooring and stuff like that. And I go over and do the inlays and stuff like that when they're needed and that. And I couldn't get out there. So I called up this young kid that I knew he did inlays on furniture. He showed up to the site, and he's like, he had this router called I can't remember what it was called, but he put down these little lines, like tape lines that have these little polka dots. And then it scans it. He puts the router on the floor. He walks away, and the router just CNC everything right there. I'm like, what the? And it's like, oh, how much did this cost? We have to have one. We have to have one. Like that. Like it's just the technology. And like, look at track saws, man. Like, do you know how friggin' many people are not going to become crippled and disabled using that? Like that's the one thing. I know I gave you a hard time about the table saw, track saw thing, but then I got to think about, you know what? There's so many DIYers and idiots out there that will never learn how to use a table saw properly. And like the track saw is it's hand down. Like I'd probably put it in the top 20 new tools that's really caught on. Like, and well, as much as we don't want to say it, we have to thank Makita for that. 2009.
Never heard of you. Never heard of it. Never heard of it. No.
2009 was the first time I saw it, and 2010 is the first time I bought it. But
it was probably back. That was before they started getting bad. Makita got bad about 2016.
Well, that's when tools were still brushed, and
brushed,
and everything that we had was NiCad, and lithium ion was slowly coming out. But that's the one thing. Like I look at my the first lithium ion that I got was the Milwaukee 28 volt,
right?
And I still have the right for it, and I sat there and I looked at it, and I look at the drill in my hand. It's half the size of that beast. It's got 10 times more power than this. Like that's the thing. So like it was kind of funny because when the impact driver came out, it was kind of a godsend because it would actually drive the fasteners that big monster drill for some reason you think would be able to drive a car down a road, but it would not drive. But nowadays it's the opposite. Now drills are so compact, so powerful now. You don't even need an impact anymore. Like even doing sheet metal work and stuff like that. A nice little compact drill with the safety stuff. I'm
taking the precision. I'm taking the precision of the drill every time.
Well, that's why I can't wait for the Gen 2 Metabo Compact to show up. I ordered it because it's apparently it's got 650 inch like I think it was inch-pound torque or something like that.
Yeah.
It's a monster. I watched a couple videos on that thing. That thing's a little tiny monster. Second I get that, my Milwaukee Impact's going to sit on the shelf for the rest of its life probably.
Yeah, I know that you got worked up when I was first started doing the drill versus impact thing.
Most of it, I was just trying to gradually get under your skin because I knew you could take it, and I was in a miserable mindset back then.
But I try to tell everybody because I can remember the day. I can vividly remember the day somebody showed up with an impact driver for the first time.
Yeah.
And I was still using my corded Black & Decker, my 15-pound beast, right? And again, because I never found a job it couldn't do, but it was 15 pounds.
Yeah.
I can remember the day and I heard it for the first time. And I was just like, what the hell is that annoying thing?
Yeah.
And I never liked it. I never wanted it. I swear to God, I did not use an impact driver until around 2020.
Yeah.
Because I just could not stand the noise. That still cannot stand the noise on them. Yeah. And now that the drills have gotten so good, because my first lithium ion drill was a Makita.
Yeah.
You heard it here first, folks. I used to use Makita, which is
all,
why I know
we all owned that little 7.2 volt micro unit that they had. The little, we all had that one.
I had the blue handle, the 9.6. Right. Still have it by the way up in my attic, which I'll never touch it and I'll never bring it down because I don't want to touch it anymore. Had the torpedo style that went in to the handle in the little metal that closed it.
Yeah.
Right. That was well, my first, I'll take it back. My first, no, those were NiCads. I'm trying to remember, but I know the Makita was the first lithium ion drill that I had, and it was the 9.6, and it was such a terrible drill, but it was so much better than what I had been using.
Yeah.
Because I had I started out with an all metal Black & Decker from the 50s that couldn't drive. You couldn't get it to drive a 3-inch fastener, and it was corded.
Yeah.
And then you would end up finishing it off with a screwdriver, and then we'd make pilot holes for everything, and we'd make sure the pilot holes lined up, that we were perfect when we were doing it all. And now they don't even do pilot holes for anything; they just drive them and hope and pray the wood doesn't split. But that was the way it was back then, and I used to. Like when I first when Makita went to their 18 volt platform, which I think they did like right around 2008, 2010, somewhere in that neighborhood when they first started coming out. And then I got heavy into DeWalt because the DeWalt was so much better than the Makita. Because that was the old black and white Makita. And then I don't know if you remember the Firestorm ones, the red, those are trash, by the way. They're still trash today. They were trash back then. I got into those trying to replace the Makita. That didn't work because I hated the Makita at that point. And then I got into the DeWalt line, and then I got into Milwaukee, Rigid. I even tried Ryobi in there. The old blue Ryobis from 2002. That's when I first tried to convert to a cordless battery system.
Yeah, same here. We had two grades of Ryobi up here. We had one that was blue and yellow and blue and red. Blue and red was they called it contract, and it said contractor grade. A little bit, but that's the thing. When those came out, that's when I started dabbling in the office furniture installation because there was huge friggin' money. Every single guy had one of those. And that was the first drill I actually ever owned that was able to drive a 3-inch lag without a pilot hole.
Yeah.
it actually drove it, but it wouldn't do anything. And it felt it. It was hot after it was done.
Oh, sure.
But that's thing. That's when I became a believer in cordless, and that's when I started looking at other brands. And I was DeWalt for a long time. Then I switched over to Milwaukee because I went and bought a brand new drill. This was probably about 15 years ago. Bought a brand new drill, and the shaft, like the little drive shaft that went to the planet in the front, it kept getting too hot and cracking from drilling the steel. And so I went down and I just bought a Milwaukee, and it didn't do it. Then I ended up going up to the Gen 3, and all my Gen 3 garbage. They're in the trash. They just didn't hold up. Like Milwaukee, like 5-year run of quality, and now they're just downhill. DeWalt's starting to pick up now, that 177. That thing is, I'm actually almost contemplating about buying it, but it's like, I got the Metabo. It's still going. It's still going.
The thing, like, you know, because you still get the myth believers that are out there that they're like, I'll run corded till the day I pass or whatever. Dude, I've been there. You'll never get me to go back. I like the convenience, the portability. I like being able to just have it on my hip. I really like being able to get off a ladder and not look around my ankle to see if the cord was wrapped around my foot.
Yeah.
You know, because that's a danger, by the way, folks, that they don't talk to you about with corded tools. But we've all been there, and we all know the agony of having that cord get around your foot. And then you get that last 4 feet of ladder on top of you, you know. Those are fun, but I'll never go back. Plenty of people have asked me to do a corded drill, versus a cordless, and I thought about it for a long time. I ended up not wanting to do it because I do not want to own another corded tool. Like if I could go cordless with everything except for very few things, which like sander, angle grinder, I still prefer cords. If I can go cordless for everything, I will.
That's the thing. Like I tell new people getting new into the trade, they want to have like 10, 15 guys on a job site. You're not going to go buy cordless tools for every single one of them. So like I'm still a firm believer in having a corded saws.
Yeah.
Like Sawzall, you should rarely ever have to touch a Sawzall when you're on the job sites, or 1 or 2 cordless. But there are some tools that I say just more economical. None of that. If you forget it on the job site, you know it's still going to be there tomorrow morning because no one's going to steal it. Goddamn. So, but there are some cord tools out there. But that's the thing. Sanders, I've been running my Air auto body sanders for everything, woodworking, everything for years and years. I'm just getting tired of toting that frigging compressor around. And I kind of got turned off by cordless sanders a little bit in the beginning because the only thing that was available was the Gen 1 Milwaukee and that Gen 1 DeWalt. And this is great just for doing a quick little clean up the corner on a fence and that. But then I started playing. I played with the Milwaukee at the tool store. They had a big demo thing going on. I played with the new Milwaukee. It's like, yeah, but the like I'm trying to get off the 12 volt stuff because I'm not doing the mechanic stuff anymore and it's like and the finish just wasn't really there to where I'm used to with my air sand, my auto body sanders. It just wasn't the same finish. I played with the rigid. The price was right, but it still wasn't because when I'm doing my finishing work and I want a good sander, I want something that's going to come close to my old air sanders.
Sure.
So that the Makita actually came pretty close, and I kind of think I like the corded idea, but that cord is still too short. They need to add some length to it if they're gonna, because having the option of having a friggin' monstrous ass battery, having a little tiny battery and a little cord light, it's a good idea, but they have to add at least another 5-6 feet to that cord. But then you still have a little cord that dicks around. But that's the thing is, I ended up I'm now starting. squash. Like it's giving me the finish that I want. It doesn't walk. Like when you have it running, you leave it set, it doesn't run away on you. And so now I'm starting to become a believer in the cordless sanders, but I got turned off because the first generations, it's like they're never gonna have a sander. Like none of that, the battery's dead in 15 minutes. Like and none of that. They didn't have the smart cutoff on those old ones.
Yeah.
So when the battery died, it left nasty squirrel marks in your wood. It didn't, no warning, no nothing. It just turned me off. But no, I'm happy with the little Bosch that I'm thinking about actually buying. That they got that 3-in-1. It's the same as the Orbital. I'm looking at that one. It's a little bit pricey, but hey, it's three sanders. It's 3 sanders one. So because I still use a sheet sander a lot.
Yeah,
I use that a friggin' hell of a lot. So having the sheet sander, the little mouse sander comes in handy. And well, I don't like I've used that little mouse sander attachment for the oscillating tool, and I tell you, that's not a finishing sander. That is not a
no. The sander tech that's out. I'll say this: the last maybe 2 years, 2 years, that's when I started believing in the battery operated sanders. The first sander that I got from Milwaukee, I don't push down. I don't push down on tools. I don't believe in it. Like just enough to keep it where it is. That's about as much force as I'm ever going to give one. And the first Milwaukee sander I had, I didn't even get through one project. And it leaned, like the whole top of it leaned over because it broke.
Yeah.
Because they had these little spindly pieces of plastic in there, and that was supposed to keep everything. Well, it didn't work. So I was just like, well, this is trash. And I hated I hated the sanders, and I didn't, and still to this day, like I've got my quarter sheet sander from the 1950s. It's all metal.
Yeah.
And I'll use that. I've got a 5-inch or a 6-inch random orbit that's corded and brushed, and I'll use that.
Yeah.
And then just when I got the subcompact from Rigid and I used it, I was like, oh my, because it's the feel of the tool.
Yeah.
More than anything, because the one thing that I hated about battery operated sanders was that they would vibrate so much that because one of the things that you're doing when you're sanding is you're looking at your pattern that you're leaving down there so that you know when to move on without. And when you get enough experience, you're not leaving pencil marks on everything or whatever. You're just going in there and you're using your sight, and then you'll run your hand over at the end, and your hand will tell you if you've got to where you go down to the next grit. Well, they vibrate so much and they kick up so much of the dust as they're vibrating, you couldn't get that visual on there. So then it was like, well, what the am I using this thing for? And you just chuck them across the room. And by the way, the only other one I tried before I got the Rigid was a Bauer, which that's the biggest piece of dog crap any human being could ever buy. And if you think you're happy with a Bauer sander, you're probably retarded.
Well, that's the thing that I hated about the first gen cordless sanders that I tried is if you didn't push down on them, they started to act like a friggin' grinder. They just spun. They would spin. So you had, and then if you push down on it, now cutting into too deep. I was like, what the?
You can't get it right.
No.
So I'd still tell people like I would prefer to use air. If I'm going to be standing there all day, I don't want to leave every 15, 20 minutes to change my battery. I just want to stand there and get my project done as I'm doing it. And I want to be able to do the visual inspection of when it's time to move on, as opposed to, leaving the pencil marks or doing any kind of the other stuff that slows you down. Because I'm just there to do a project. I'm not there to make sure that my pencil marks are gone. Like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
Like I just want to, like I've got enough experience. If you've ever had to, you remember those big rotary fans that we used to smooth the concretes,
Yeah.
The concrete surfaces, right? The resurfacer or the surfacer there.
Yeah.
Well, it was the same thing. You're riding it over, or you're going over it, and you're not necessarily looking at where the tool is. You're looking at what the tool's leaving, as opposed to where it is.
Yeah.
And when we used to do the resurfacing or the surfacing of the concrete or whatever, that was my focus, was that 4 or 5 inches beyond the cage of the big blade that we had going around there, or the surfacer. So that was my focus. So when I use a sander, I'm not looking at my hand. I'm not looking at the sander. I'm looking at the 4 or 5 little spaces right after it, because I want to see that pattern that it's leaving so that I know what's going on.
Yeah.
And with a lot of the battery operated stuff that's out there, it kicks up so much of the sawdust that you can't get that pattern that's there.
Yeah.
So you don't know. And then it becomes a guessing game. Well, the last thing you want to do when you work is guess.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's just my philosophy on it.
But I will say this, Ridgid knocked it out of the park with those new sanders. Like the ergonomics are nice, the balance is nice, the battery life is nice. Like it like for 90% of everything that everyone's going to do, even finishing carpenters, lately Ridgid, in my opinion, they've just been knocking it out of the park on a lot of stuff. Like they're blowing a lot of other companies out. But if you're honestly looking for an affordable cordless sander, I like, after playing with that Ridgid, there are a couple things that I didn't like about it, but doesn't mean that it's not an awesome tool. It just didn't feel like the reason why I wanted the Bosch, it rode and acted the same as my Air did and my Corded did. But the Ridgid, like I said, don't buy the Milwaukee. That Milwaukee's overpriced, way overpriced for what it is. And it's really not, it's honestly, in my opinion, I didn't see any difference between that and the Ridgid in quality of finish. Nothing. And the feel and that vibration, honestly, that's why I'm slowly, I'm working out my Milwaukee stuff. A lot of stuff is going to be replaced with Ridgid stuff. There's a lot of stuff that I have Milwaukee that's going to be Ridgid, because Ridgid makes it. It's and none of that. They don't dick you around on the warranty either. Like you go in, you play stupid. Yeah, DIY. Can you replace it and fix it? And they do it. Just don't tell them that you're a professional. Don't tell them that you're a contractor. You don't show up in Carhartt. Show up in a pair of blue jeans and a shirt that says I'm a liberal, and they'll warranty it out for you.
You don't even have to go in. You don't have to explain anything to them anymore. It's all done online. You fill out a claim form online, and they ask you to send them in the tool. You send it in, and then I think the longest you're waiting now is 15 days.
That's
and
with Milwaukee, if they see anything that could be possibly water intrusion, you're a professional tool. You're going to be used outdoor in the rain, the snow, and you're saying you're not going to warranty it because of possible water intrusion or like I had that cordless compressor. There's an hour counter inside the computer. And for the time that I owned it to where I warrantied it in, the hours didn't add up to what they wanted. They were going, were you using this continuous duty? We're not warranting it if you use it, because it's not made to be run continuous duty. So they didn't warranty it out. So that went into the friggin' garbage. Because to get it fixed, it was almost the same price as it new. So it's like, okay, garbage. Got that little Metabo, and when I did have an issue with it, do you know what Metabo did? They told the store to just pull one off the shelf and give it to me and send it in. Right there in seconds off in the computer. It's done. But Milwaukee, I've bought last year I was buying some of their new tools, and the build quality. It's like it's just not impressing me. And the ergonomics are going downhill, but no, like for new people, buy Ridgit. Whenever you see anything Metabo or Bosch on sale, buy it. Buy some Bosch batteries and that. Have 3 little lines, but make Ridgit your mainstay, and then whenever you see something on sale, just go with those, or DeWalt, or like some of the DeWalt stuff. But Milwaukee, I don't recommend Milwaukee to people anymore, except for mechanics on the 12-volt line, because 12-volt line for mechanics and automotive is the cat's ass, because when you're working in some of these vehicles, every millimeter of space and size counts. With construction, you don't have to worry about millimeters of space and size.
No, it's funny you should say that, because I tell electricians M12, because they're going through threads already. It's pre-threaded, everything's got threads on that they're doing. They're really not tradespeople anyway. They're electricians.
Give them a big boy drill, they might fuck something up.
Yeah. And then for mechanics, I actually tell them to buy DeWalt, because the DeWalt has the protection built into it for automotive fluid. So I'm like, why are you buying Milwaukee when you should be buying DeWalt? Yeah. I get in trouble all the time for telling people, like, why have one battery platform? That doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, there is no such thing as one battery platform anyways, because one company makes the one tool better. Not like me. I'm on 4 platforms total. And I got to play those 4 platforms to get the one that's going to make me the happiest out of the tools. Like if I stuck with one platform, I'd have some tools that just made me miserable.
Yeah,
because I just wanted one color on my shelf. And honestly, having it's not really that inconvenient having multiple battery platforms. No. It's not.
No, because the batteries typically don't take up any more space than any of the others. The chargers take up basically no space. And if you really know what you're doing, when you're putting your pack out together, or whatever your platform is, you're putting your charger in typically on the lid, so that when you close it, it's there. You never have to look for it. You're going right to your inverter to run it off of your generator, so you're not overloading it at any point. It's like the people that say that to me, it doesn't make any sense, because it tells me that they've never been out there. They don't actually know what we're running, what we're doing. They don't know the availability. So I'm looking at that and I'm like, yeah, but what if it and I'll say it again, if the tool's not fun, you're going to find a reason not to use it. Right. That's the one thing that I think upset the most people, is when I said that about the subcompact Milwaukee. I'm like, these aren't fun to use, so why would I have them? Right. I'm just going to look for reasons not to use it, and I'll use something else. To me, it makes all the sense in the world. But when a company like Makita, when they haven't been keeping up, but you're insistent that you're only going to buy one battery platform, you're going to only buy into that one color tool. Well, when they start making bad tools, are you going to stick with it just because you like that color? Or are you going to be an intelligent human being and go out and make something get something that's going to make you money? That's what I want. I want multiple battery platforms, and I want to get the best tool that I can get out of the battery platforms that I choose to have. Because then I don't care what happens to any one company or any one brand. If Ridgit went belly up tomorrow, it doesn't slow me down a bit. I got other platforms.
And there are some tools that doesn't matter which platform they're on. There is no modifying them. There is no making them better. Hand planers. Hand planers have been the same goddamn thing for years, to where the point, like, I've got a 9 how. It was an $89. It's Canada's version of a rigid kind of thing. Like, we sell up here in Canada, made in Germany, and it uses the same blades as my Metabo does. It works the same way, does everything the same way, same finish, same controls. It's identical. There's no difference. There are some cordless tools out there you don't need to buy the most expensive in, because there is no technology there's nothing that we can do that improves on it. It's just what it is and what it always will be. Like large grinders, like big heavy grinders. Until we figure out better battery life. But when you're buying a cordless grinder, for the amount that you're going to use it, you don't need to buy the big heavy Milwaukee, because honestly, the big heavy Milwaukee versus the rigid or any of the lower brands, there isn't that big of a difference. And when you're grinding, it gets like, but there are just tools out there that just don't. You don't have to buy the biggest, best, and the most expensive one, because it's been the same for years, and it's never ever going to change. And that technology, the way that's built, is how everyone builds them. But
I feel that way about routers. A lot of your routers, you can get some that are more powerful than another, but why? Like, you don't need the most powerful router. There's just more that could go wrong if you're using it, because you're going to probably chip your wood faster.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, when you get up to the 2 to 3 3.25 horsepower router thing, it's not going to matter which one you buy, because they're all running the same RPM. They're all the same technology. They're all the same. And and you're not going to notice the difference on something like that. Little palm router, you're going to want it to fit your hand comfortably. Harmonics, maybe a little bit, good speed control, but other than that, nothing really different on those palm routers. Like, because the technology really hasn't changed. There's not a whole lot that we can do. Like, the anti-kick on them is kind of handy now, because that kind of saves people from screwing up their project too much. But aside from that, when you're getting into the big routers, go buy like a King Canada, or even the old corded Ryobi. That 3.25, like, it got hot, but it does the same thing that even that, like, I have I've got the old fine 3.25 horsepower, the premium router, and I've got in Canada, which is an exact clone of it. They're almost identical, and there is zero difference in them. But the only time that I'm really using that one nowadays, because is when I'm ripping out windows on walls or something, like going through heavy material, and I'm just wanting to brute force it. That's the only time I'm using the big bastard. Other than that, the most of the little compacts, they're more than enough to do almost everything that you do. You don't need a monstrous router anymore, because this brushless motor it's just phenomenal.
The router I use, my big corded router that I use, is Chicago Electric from Harbor Freight.
Yeah, and I've
had it for like 10 years.
Bet you get the same finish on the router, because at the end of the day, when it comes to a router, it's not so much the router, it's the bit.
The bit.
You have good bits. You can take a shitty router and turn out good work. Unless there's harmonic balances with the shaft in it, because it was made.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, we've all seen that one router where it wobbles a little bit. And
what was it? Performax one. I have a Performax one that's like that. I've never used it because I put the bit in there. Like, I put the bit in, and I noticed that it wasn't square, and I was like, well, that's going in the bucket.
It's got the oscillating function built in.
Yeah. So I was watching Tactics use one the other day. I was like, dude, there's an arrow that tells you what direction to go.
That really scares me when he uses power tools that can hurt you. Like, he's
Sometimes, like I tell him about it all the time. I was like watching you take your hand over the saw blade on your table saw because you're trying to make that one perfect cut.
Yeah.
And I was like, and you didn't even sandwich it between two scrap pieces to make sure that your hand didn't get in the way. He's just like, I'll hold it. It'll be fine.
When
Dude,
he was
no.
doing that trim around that air conditioner, the way that he went about doing that whole there were so many different ways he could have done that with. Like he probably could have done it a lot faster. That little DeWalt, that little 4 1/4 inch DeWalt saw probably would have been a better tool for doing that.
I believe it. Yeah, I look at. You want me to send you some router bits? One, I'll think about it. I'll send you some Job Smart or something. Whatever cheap ones I can find. No, there are a couple of times that I've looked at what he was doing. And I was like, this is not how you would do this. Like, but I tell it like as he's doing it, I'm like, well, this is how you're doing it. Like every time I see him to use a table saw, I'm like, yeah, this is not how you would do it because he never has a hand on the saw. Like
he's got to bring that table saw up to his waist too, down below his waist, being bent over that thing. I don't like that. I don't.
You mean the nice spinny blade right next to your chest doesn't make you feel good?
Well, I used
you
to
only make that mistake once.
I see these guys show up at a job site, put the table saw on the ground.
Yeah,
on the ground, and they're friggin' running stuff through it on the ground. I'm like, dude, oh no. What like it's like I'll slap together a couple crappy sawhorses and right. Like, so if you accidentally stumble or trip, your whole body's not going on there.
I don't know how many times I have told them that you don't even look for that push stick until till the back piece is firmly on the saw. And you don't move your left hand at all. Like you lock your left hand right around the edge, and then the wood rides on the inside of your finger, and that is your guide. And I know he still looks at the blade when he's using his table saw, and I've tried to tell him you got to look at the back portion of your fence because that's going to tell you where the danger is coming and how to pay attention to that. But I'll tell you the one person I have seen on YouTube that I cannot watch them use a power tool because I fear for their safety and I don't even like them. It's the Denatools.
Yeah.
When I watched him cross arms in front of a miter saw to pull wood through, I was like,
"What the hell?
What are you doing?" Like. The little spinny thing is there. It's going to hurt. Like,
yeah.
Or I watched him use an angle grinder.
Oh, I saw that. That was
like, I got maybe 3 minutes in. He didn't even make the first cut. I watched 3 minutes in. And I watched him using the angle grinder. And I was just like, why is the blade guard on the wrong side?
Yeah.
Why do you only have one hand on the tool?
Yeah.
Right. Like I'm watching and like those are the things that I watch and I'm just going like, oh my God, like this is not safe. Please, people don't watch this and think this is what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And every time he uses a tool, I'm just like, this motherfucker has no idea what he's doing.
Look, anything that spins that a glove can get caught in, I tell people not to wear the glove because I actually had one kid using the big SSD friggin' jackhammer, the old Milwaukee brushed behemoth, and he's drilling a hole, and his glove got pinched in between the bit and literally pulled his fingers right out of the sockets. It was like like a grinder. Wear a glove because that little bit of leather might save your finger a little bit. You won't end up with a split finger like I do. Nice little cut. Well, I can't really see it. I cut I cut it right in half down the center, and I
Oh.
put it together with tape and let it heal. My fingernail has a permanent line in it. It's just freaking, but
That's what's going to happen to this.
yeah. Yeah, you're not a real tradesman until you got screwed up pinkies. Those goddamn, they're always in the way. Always in the way.
No, that is one thing. There's certain tools that I will use the gloves on, but most of them I still don't. Like, it just, for me, I never feel like I'm in control if I've got a glove on, or I don't feel this. I can't feel the tool as well if I've got a glove on, and I need to feel the tool, because like using a tool should not just be a reactive thing. It should be something that you're encompassing at least 3 of your senses with. You're using your sense of smell. You're using your eyesight, and you're using your ears. And those are the 3 things that you should constantly be using when you're using a power tool. That if you're doing it right, your mind's not going to drift because you're so busy doing that. So I see that stuff. Oh,
But it's just tools like my little brother. Like I always had this bad habit of always using my pencil as a push stick.
yeah.
And my little brother, he was watching me one day, and he went home, and he does carving and stuff like that. He carved me this little thing that's a nice little notch out that I put my pencil in, so that way I actually it looks like a push stick, works more like a push stick. Like,
Yeah.
you're like, well, that's very, very thoughtful of you. Sure,
That was nice of him.
yeah, but
that
was the one thing that people would watch me doing, and like I don't see the push stick, so I grab my pencil, and it's like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
No,
Just
I watched the guys here on YouTube. They use the two push stick method.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen anybody in life do this? Because I not in normal life. Maybe if I was going to like BOCES with the mentally handicapped kids, I could see somebody doing that. But what that tells me is they're afraid of that tool. But they're afraid because they don't know how to operate that tool in a safe fashion.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just get yourself a piece of 2x4 and put a notch on one end. As long as your left hand never comes off that table, until that piece is fully supported and past your finger, then you got nothing to worry about, or very little to worry about. But if you're that worried about losing a finger, don't use that tool. And that's why when I said that more people should buy a track saw. Yeah. And I think the track saw should replace the table saw for most home shops.
Yeah.
I meant it because I get sick of watching these people that, frankly, they're not really qualified to be using those tools, doing things that they should not do. And in unsafe manner. And I'm more worried about that, watching them get hurt or hearing about them getting hurt, than I am about whether they like my opinion or not. I'm coming out of a good place. I don't want them to be injured. When I'm like, there's certain tools I don't think they should own, even because it's going to hurt them. Like a rotary hammer. Well, the rotary hammer by itself may not hurt you, but not knowing what you're doing when you're doing it, that is going to hurt you. Not having proper PPE on, not having your dust mask on, because concrete dust, that fine dust that gets into your lungs can cause cancer. I don't want that for people. A planer, an edge planer, right? The handheld edge planer. The battery operated ones, that's a spinning razor blade under there.
Yeah.
You're going to ruin your piece if you don't know how to do it. And if you set it down wrong, there's always the chance that either you or somebody else is going to get hurt. So maybe don't use that. Learn how to use a hand plane. Learn why you set it down on the side and you don't set it down on the shoe. You know, that those are all things that, like, I don't have the patience to explain to people, but I don't want them to get hurt either because of their own ignorance.
Yeah.
So I'd rather them not like me than to get hurt because I said don't do this.
Yep. But on that note, it's getting late, and I think the stream should end. We should go try to get some sleep, or diddle on, play some YouTubes or something. But anyways, it was awesome having you on, Robert. Thank you very much for joining me, and Juan for being a trooper, sticking it out the whole entire distance.
Yeah,
and Dave for being Dave. Thanks for being here, Dave. I enjoyed having you in the chat, keeping Juan entertained. And I'll catch you all on the flip side, and have a great night.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thought it was a good chance to kind of set the table straight, because some people think that we hate each other, and may not always agree. We sometimes will disagree, but we're just grumpy old bastards, and we get over it.
That's right. And I'm always right.
Have a good night, guys.
See you guys.
Oh.